Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to the Game Time Live. I'm your boy D. Cott with his co-host Ramon Stallings. Today, we got our guy Isaiah. He's going to be on. He's going to be a little bit late today, but Isaiah will be on. And we're going to have some fun with having talking some sports, a lot of good stuff today. But I want to start off with our sponsors, right? I want to talk about welcome to the world of Game Time Live. First off, Wired to the Nines. If you're tired of data, if you're tired of slow cameras, if you're tired of wireless issues that are having problems, they've got all your wireless needs covered under one roof. Stop settling for second best and step up your connectivity on 10. Now, if you're looking for the ultimate sports spot, that's Bigsy Sports Grill. Massive screens, ice cold drinks, food menu that hit out the park every single time. Bring your friends, grab a booth, and make Bigsy's your game time headquarters. Now, when it comes to getting your home comfortable, it's getting to be the fall time now. Hamilton Heating and Cooling is your spot. Is your team on the need for speed dial, whether it's servicing your AC during those hot summer stretches, tuning up your furnace before the winter hits, the expert technicians that get the job done, get it done right and fair. Don't sweat the seasonal shifts. Let Hamilton handle it. And then finally, our last added sponsor, that's Blue TV. Are you still paying too much for that cable bill? Are you mad because you can't watch the Pacers completely 100% for free? You got to go to that DAZN or whatever it is. Don't worry about it. Cut the cord. Dish the endless hidden fees, long-term contracts, and unlock the high-definition entertainment you actually want. Reach out to our guys at Blue TV. Huge thanks to all of our sponsors. Wired to the Nines, Bigsy Sports Grill, Hamilton Heating and Cooling, and Blue TV. Thanks for being a part of our show. Thanks for doing all the things you all are doing for us, and we appreciate the love. Big time. So, without further ado, I got Coach, Assistant AD, cool dude, Hall of Famer, Butler University. What else? Always want to bet me into the season for our team's going to have a best season. My boy, Ramon Stallings. Coach, it's your world. We just living in it. Talk to me.
Man, high school football is upon us. Week 1 in the books for everybody, or most people in the state of Indiana. I'm just happy to be part of high school football in the state of Indiana. I'm happy to be part of helping kids chase their dream with a process that they can follow to achieve their dream, and just to fill in the gaps wherever I need to fill in the gaps at for any kid. So, that's what I enjoy. Whether it's our managers, I love hanging out with those guys and girls, film people, just family. I love it. So, I nothing better than high school football.
No doubt, man.
Week one, everyone gets to see, the harvest, see where everything is right now. You've worked extremely hard in January, February, March, April, May. The IHSA has provided us opportunity to have more contact or limited contact within the off-season competition days. And so week 1 gives you an opportunity to say, hey, this is where I'm at, this is where I came, this is where I was, this is where I'm at now, and this is where I need to get to. So always thankful for the opportunity. My boys did a pretty good job this Friday. We won, and in our school we haven't won a week 1 game since maybe 2020, something like that, and then before that 1994, somewhere like that. So it's been a minute since we've had week 1 victories. It was ugly, but it was a win, and I'll take an ugly win before I take a pretty loss any day, because I can go back to the drawing board, figure out what we did wrong, what we did right, celebrate one, correct the other, and push forward in a positive manner, because we're 1-0. And as we say with our group, only thing better than 1-0 is 2-0. And so that's what we're looking at, now to take that step to get to be 2-0.
Good deal, man. So, we're watching. Obviously, we've been talking about this high school thing, all summer long, and getting ready. You're getting fired up and everything. I know you're calm, cool, and collected right now, but I know if I peel back them layers, man, there's a fire burning. That's saying, "Let me get my after week 2. I'm ready today." You probably want to play today.
Nah, I don't want to play today, man. We gotta make sure that we're having film session. We understand what the opponent's trying to do, what we need to do, how we can get better. We want to make sure our boys take care of those little injuries, little boo-boos that they may have from Friday night, because now last Friday you bumped up against an opponent and they wasn't holding back. So you're going to feel a little bit, different than you did maybe for a week or 2 weeks of practice with your colleagues or your friends who may, not go 10, may go 8 or may go 7, or if we're thudding up and not taking to the ground. So definitely don't want to play tomorrow, right? We want to play on Friday, but we do have to be ramped up, and probably not as much physically Friday, but mentally. When we walk in those doors, we have to be sharp. And when I say when we walk in those doors, I'm not talking about the locker room preparing for practice. I'm talking about when we walk in the doors for school. We got to be mentally prepared. That preparation doesn't start in practice. It starts with getting your butt to class, waking up on time, getting to the bus. It starts with yes, ma'am, no, ma'am to your teachers. Yes, sir, no, sir to your teachers. Getting out of the hallways, turning in paperwork, turning in homework assignments, making sure you're studying, being good teammates and being good friends and being good students. That's where it starts. That's where the preparation starts. When you get to me at 2 o'clock, 2:30, 3 o'clock, you should have multiple victories already. You should have won and beat the alarm clock to wake up in the morning. You should have beat the bus, got to the bus. You should have beat all your classmates or whatever to class every day. So you got victories stacking. And I truly believe that winning is a habit. And I'm not just talking about winning on the field, winning just in general. If you are a winner, you win in everything.
I like that, man. We've talked about coaching on so many different levels of, what we've experienced in our young children of the day. And, it's 2026. Talk a little bit about, as a high school, assistant athletic director and coach versus when you were a high school sophomore, and talk about a little bit of those differences, what you see in your players today versus what you were back then when you were ready to get your butt to Butler and take care of business.
I think the biggest thing, and I tell my kids this, and I tell parents, and I tell anybody who listens, the biggest thing is work was, people liked to work back in the day, man. It was fun. It was cool to work. That's the word I want. It was cool to work. What up, boy?
What's up? Hey, good job on the win, man. Good job on the win. Yeah. I was at Wish TV and I'm in there putting the scores for the ticker, and I'm scrolling and I see Indianapolis, Washington 6-0. I was like, yes. So happy for you, man. Good job.
Right on. It's cool. Like I was saying, man, back in the day, it was cool to work, and winning was a byproduct of that cool work you put in. Now it's kind of the other way around. It's cool to win, and it's cool to post, and it's cool to be seen on social media and all the multiple platforms. But I don't know how much work is cool anymore. Work doesn't get that praise, that honor, that love that it used to get. So those guys now, if you work, you immediately separate yourself from everybody else. And you may not be as talented, but if you work, it masks all the things that some of the more talented kids on every level, high school, college, pro, aren't doing. They don't work anymore, And so that's the biggest thing from when I played from now. And I just try to convince my kids, man, work wins, period. Work wins. And I tell them all the time, success only comes before work in the dictionary. It don't in real life. It's the other way around.
I like that. I like that. That's a good point, right? We say, back in my day and back in there's a lot of things that we feel, right? But as you just said, oftentimes now things are so microwave, right? The success comes immediately. If you get if you go viral and you get 30,000 views because you did a workout video, you think you've won. You know, there's a lot of winners on the internet that aren't winning on the field of play in the day-to-day life, man. So one more last thing before we get into our really good NFL stuff and all of that. What do you tell those kids like that? That's you know, they want the you remember Dan Lanning, the veins poking out his neck. They want the clicks. They want the clicks. They want the wins. What do you talk to your kids about that type of behavior and what they should focus on a day-to-day to be better?
So we got this saying, right? I talked to him about this 3 things, couple different things. All right. The first one is I'm gonna drop this one for you. It's probably the most important thing to me and my staff, and now becoming my boys. As a man, we're only evaluated 2 ways, right? I believe we're only evaluated 2 ways. Can we provide and can we protect? And if you can't provide or you can't protect, whether it's right or wrong, just or unjust, the world looks at us different as men if we can't provide and protect. And we have to understand that. You know, we can't judge and say if it's right or wrong. We just have to understand it is what it is. So my question always to the boys is, are you providing for your teammates? Are you providing for your school? Are you providing for your community? And then look to the right and left of you. Are you protecting these guys? Are you protecting the school? Are you protecting the community? Are you protecting the logo? If you are protecting your family in all phases of it, and you're providing for your family, all phases of it, as a man, you're going to be viewed and valued a different way. If you fail in one, there's going to be questions. And if you fail in both, you're kind of worthless to the world. You shouldn't be, but that's how they view you. And so we talk about that all the time.
I like that, man. And we're gonna get, as we go on our continue our lives and our spin-off shows, we're gonna be hitting on a lot of these things over these next couple of months. And so folks, be ready for these type of conversations as well. Yeah, we're gonna hit on our sports, but also sports ties into life, a lot of other things like that. So I see some comments already in there. And I've already got my prep work done because our maestro wasn't going to be. I said, so I got to be right. I can't mess up because Isaiah had this thing all mapped out. I said, if I mess up, people are going to clown me. So I've got my little sheet going. And it's funny, Eli hit the money, right? So the first thing off the rip, we're going to talk about.
I did want to get a chance to say, because I saw you put something out on Facebook, and I do want to, say to the fans also, yes, schedule's been a little up and down with everything. Really, what I've got going on, these guys are here every week. They're ready to go. As I announced a couple weeks ago, the internship with Wish TV. So there's been a lot going on. But what we can guarantee you is there's going to be a live show. There's been some weeks where it is going to get a little crazy, where the show may move to a Saturday, may move to a Sunday. But we can promise you a live show every weekend. So I just wanted to send that message out. A lot of this movement is revolving around me. So I just want to come on and let our audience know that. But we are still going to bring you the Game Time live show that you all know and love. Just, stay with us. If there's any updates, if the day moves, the time changes, D-Cod will update you. I'll update you. Ramon will update you. So I just want to be transparent real quick, just to, give people what's been going on as to why the show's been moving around. And just, we'll get it on track. If there's any movement, we will let you guys know for sure.
And also, one thing I want to tell our base, right? We're growing as a group and individually, all right? And so as I remind my kids and I remind my staff, if you remember when you were 5'5", 5'4", 4'11", 3'8", and you started to grow, what was the common denominator? What was the common variable? What was the common thing that we all have when we grow? Our knees hurt, shins hurt, elbows hurt. That's called pain, growing pains. So as we grow, there's going to be some pains. Yeah. We'll fight through them. Hopefully y'all fight through them, and we'll grow together. And then, hey, before you know it, we 7 foot tall.
There you go. 1,000 subs. That's what he means.
Right.
1,000 subs. That's what he means.
More importantly than 1,000 subs, impacting lives, right? Yeah. So if we affect 50 lives and stay with the subs we are, I could live with that. But anyway, so it's funny, right? Because I've seen in the comments about people talking about Cleveland. That's first. Listen, AI told me first thing we should talk about was Cleveland. I kid you not. We're going to tap into this AI thing as well too. We're doing more and more of it, but I'm telling you, it really measures for you. So one of the things we want to hit on, and I know that we all watched the games this weekend. Deshaun Watson and the Cleveland Browns, right? He throws an interception. He's booed off the field. Not the first time he's been booed off the field, and not the first time the Cleveland Browns fans have booed a quarterback off the field, right? So his response in the press, I felt was heartfelt, right? I don't think the guy saying I want sympathy, but what he said was, they asked him about the booing. He says, well, it's kind of more personal than just the interception. He says, I felt it was more than just an interception. I want to get you all's take on that, because I've got my thoughts on it, right? But I want to hear what you all think, if you all even seen it, and see what you think about that.
I did see it, and I went and watched different people from Browns media, right? Obviously, I can't show it on here, but I watched a couple of different people. I went to TikTok, I went to X. I went and seeing just what is the general basis around this. And I think some people say from a football perspective, Watson still needs to start, but it's also so on the other side of it is, are you going to lose? What happened?
Well, you delayed a little bit. Watson Nines ain't got you straight, so you got a little connection.
I was just, but it seems like there's two sides to it, right? It feels like one side is like Watson gives us the best chance to win, but then on the other side, it seems that there's people that feel if you make Watson the starting quarterback, you're going to lose the fan base a good amount. Now, obviously, I don't think that impacts ticket sales and stuff like that, but I do think the fan base that may be watching on TV or just not at the stadium is not going to feel as connected to this team. That's what I've heard from Browns media, right? That's not how I personally feel, but I can also see both sides of the argument. For me, I've been saying, no, I don't think Shedeur or Gabriel are the best quarterback in that quarterback room. What I do think is that Watson isn't even going to be back next year, so I don't see a point in playing him, because it's not like this team is trying to win the division. I don't think there is a need for them to improve off of last year. If anything, you're still trying to build this roster. So what's the point of trying to go out and win games? Is kind of how I feel right now. But if they want to go out and win, I do believe, regardless of the off the field stuff, I think Watson does give them the best chance to win. But at the same time, there is that clash of the fan base not wanting Deshaun Watson there at all, but also from, inside the organization, I don't think anyone cares about that. And they're thinking, who's going to give us the best chance to win? And it is probably Deshaun Watson, but he's more than likely not going to be there next year. So do you start developing one of these two, or do you think neither of these two guys are the future? Let's play Deshaun. If we play bad, we're lucky enough to maybe get a quarterback in the first round that is better than the two guys we have sitting behind him.
Ramon, thoughts on that one? It's the good take, guys. Yeah. We know you want Shedeur to start, Ramon. We know that. we just want to hear something different.
This is, first of all, I don't care who started in Cleveland. They can start Homie the Clown. I don't care. You're
dating yourself, Ramon. You're dating yourself.
I'm dating myself, right? But here's what I believe, right? So when people look at, first of all, I think the media has skewed this whole thing with all these trackers and things like that, because there's so many things that people don't realize go into picking a starter at any position besides some of the numbers, right? So me personally, when I look at my quarterback position in practice, I want them to push the envelope a little bit so I can know exactly where I can and can't go. So I don't expect bad interceptions, but I do expect that there's going to be some, because I want to see if you can get it into this window. I want to see if you can get it over this shoulder on this 9 route on the outside shoulder. I want to see if they're in a cover 2 and someone's doing a clear, trying to split them 2, and we're doing a dig, or we got mesh routes going on. I want to see what you can read and what you can't read, because I don't want to be surprised in the game. I want to know right now what I'm looking at. So that type of stuff does it. Now, what doesn't show in these QB trackers are Did we beat the 25-second clock? Are we getting in and out of huddle? Are we getting people lined up? Are we getting the right reads? Did we shift the offensive line the right way? Little things that we can't see because A, we're not there. B, we don't know. We had I've been in situations where our staff, at previous schools wanted one person to start at one position, and I said, hey, organizational wise, they may be a better talent, but organizational and operational wise, can they get us to where we want to be? Free safety, great, super athletic, talented, but can he get my secondary lined up? Because if he's great, but he can't get my safety, my other safety where he needs to be, he confuses my cornerbacks and my linebackers. Now his greatness don't mean nothing because now I got 5 other people who ain't on the same page. Yeah. So that's a whole nother thing. Far as the money wise with Deshaun, man, organizations have bit the bullet and lost money before. They've done both different directions. So I don't look at that as a here nor there. Far as the future, if I go in that office, that building, I don't believe that I got 3 quarterbacks and I don't think none of them the future, then I'm playing to win.
Yeah.
Right? And so I'm going to play the person who's going to give me the best chance to win. Second, if I do say, okay, Deshaun gives me a better chance to win, but he's not going to be here, so I'm going to go with Shador or Gabriel, one of those guys, and I know that they're not going to win, how do I attract people in free agency? Because we've been losing forever. Mm-hmm. So how do I go get free agency people? How do I make trades? Who wants to come here? So then I have to make sure that I'm looking at draft. Am I going to draft right? Am I going to draft another quarterback? And I got to look at that draft and say, okay, do I see a game changer in that draft? Do I think Arch Manning? Do I think the kid over in Oregon is pretty good? Do I think Julian Sands is going to be that dude? Are these guys? And if I am going to draft them, and I get rid of, and Deshaun's not coming back, I got to get rid of Shador. I'm going to go through the same thing again with his fan base. All right. So if I don't, so who do I bring in as a veteran backup to mentor this kid? I mean, there's a lot of questions they got right now. And I don't have the answers because I'm not in Cleveland. I'm lucky to be here in Indianapolis, Indiana. But, the only thing I can say is play to win. Try to win. You play the game to win.
You play to win the game. And I think we all kind of have the same sentiment, right? When they were saying when you've got X amount of quarterbacks, you don't have any. I don't think any of these guys are gonna break the house down, right? So and like we talked about last year about Cleveland, you had Garrett, you got this all-time great, but it wasn't getting you anything. It wasn't getting you but 7 wins a year, right? You trade him, but you don't get the cash. You don't get the full Monty that you thought you were going to get getting Garrett. Now, mind you, Verse is a hell of a player, and he's about 5 years younger. He's a hell of a player. But I would have thought he would have got more first-round picks in Cleveland. But it just kind of goes to Cleveland, right? I've teased a lot about Cleveland being nicknamed as the mistake by the lake, right? One of the worst cities in the NFL. And let's just call it, we can say what we want, but it is. They've had a lot of misery. And this kind of shows, I know that Eli's talking about, the trade. It was a trade. Houston didn't cut him. They did trade him. And they thought, and again, when you look at the talent, now I understand there's another dynamic of Watson, and I'm not going to get into it because I wasn't there. Yeah. But from on the field play, that was not a mistake at that time because the way Watson was playing. Remember, Watson signed a $100 million deal in Houston. Mm-hmm. He was balling in Houston. This isn't like all of a sudden you gave this guy money who was, throwing for, 2,800 yards and 12 TDs a year, right? So we forget that, right? But yeah, you're right. And you look at hindsight, you say, oh, we should have done that. Because you've got 2 Achilles tears, you've got poor play, and you've got a lot of losses to show for it. Well, it happens. And Ramon made a good point. Every team in the league done wet the bed. Every team in the league done wet the bed. So Cleveland ain't the only team wet the bed. It's just right now it's out there in the forefront. And that's kind of my take on the Cleveland play. I mean, we've given it a lot of time, but we gave Cleveland that they deserve. But I think it's worthy because of the Sanders factor, the Deshaun factor, the new coach factor, the Garrett factor, all of that in play. So, yeah.
I think it all makes sense. I mean, I think Cleveland they got a decision to make, and it's, do they want to try to win games this year, or do they want to try and develop one of these quarterbacks? It really comes down to does that organization feel that they can get a better quarterback in the draft in the first round next year, or the free agent class, which I pulled up the free agent class. There's nobody here that's worth taking a gamble on, right? Do you reconnect with Baker? No, I don't really think so. You're not going to go after Aaron Rodgers. And then after that, it's Justin Fields, Jacoby Brissett, Anthony Richardson, Marcus Smart. There's nobody
Why
in
did
that.
You say Aaron Rodgers? Why the hell would you?
Well, yeah, I'm just naming quarterbacks, but that's the market. So,
hey, Gary Hogaboom, Roger Staubach. That didn't name every quarterback we ever heard of.
I was just going over the market. But the Browns, for the Browns, it really comes down to two things. You either develop the two quarterbacks you got in the room, or you get a quarterback in this year's draft. But it can't be a third-round pick, a third-round quarterback, a second. Like, it's got to be a first-round quarterback, because you already have, Shedeur was a third-round quarterback, and Gabriel was, second round?
No, Shedeur was fifth, Gabriel was third.
Okay, so it just you can't draft another quarterback from that round, because at that point you might as well have just developed one of those two guys this season. So I think the Browns had a lot of decisions to make. I could see them starting with Watson, and if they're losing games, that's when you let Gabriel and Shedeur do whatever. But with the way it looks right now, Watson probably starts, and they just kind of see what happens, because the defensive side of the ball should be pretty good for them. It's really on the offensive side of the ball where there's going to be a lot of questions on if they're going to be able to score.
That's where I thought the Garrett trade was going to get them the dividends, right, on the offensive side, right? But it's we'll see what happens. I know that we don't have a lot of expectations in Cleveland, but you listen. Regardless of what you think of Watson personally, any quarterback coming off of 2 Achilles injuries isn't going to be the same guy he was prior to that. We can, play tag and, he deserves it, and I ain't doing all that. But again, at the end of the day, man, it's Cleveland, right? And it's in Cleveland. I mean, needless to say, the mistake by the lake. I think we can end it with that piece. But let's think on something more positive, though. Keep on going with positive on football. It looks like Aaron Donald is coming back to LA, y'all. I think he's on his 3rd workout. They showed the video of him coming back. He looks a little slow, but I got a feeling, y'all. It's all like that. I got the feeling like the Michael Jordan deal back when he after he retired, he was coming back. And you remember? Well, you don't remember, Isaiah, because you weren't born then.
Oh,
but Scottie Pippen having his foot. Ramon, remember he had a shoe out there, and he's like 2, 3. Come on back. I got the feeling, man, that Aaron Donald is gonna tie into this Rams thing. And I said on the show last week, I said they'll have the best defensive line if all pans out since the fearsome foursome. And someone chimed in and said, "What do you mean the fearsome foursome? I think that Philadelphia had a better." I said, "No. The fearsome foursome was the LA Rams defensive line." So I understand what you're talking about. I wasn't talking about the league. I said the Rams and that fearsome foursome with Roman Gabriel. You had Deacon Jones, and those guys. That's what I'm talking about. I got a feeling if he comes back, you don't want to say it's a done deal, because a lot of things could happen. But if he comes back and everybody stays healthy, is there anybody that can keep up with the Rams? And not just in the NFC, but in the NFL. It boggles my mind.
49ers.
49ers.
Bang, bang.
Hey, take your homer hat off, Reggie.
That's wishful thinking.
Bang, bang.
I got the tier list pulled up because I just wanted to see where our minds were at last week. But I agree. So for me, I think I got the Rams at number 1. I'm very biased towards Chicago this year, and I remember.
You gonna show it? You gonna show it?
Yeah, I'll pull it up on screen. Me and Ramon. We went over the Bears ad nauseum last year, right? I really like Chicago this year again. I kind of have Dallas in 3rd, but it's like, I'm gonna put them in 5th.
Hey, don't whisper.
I kind of got them in 3rd. I kind of got them in 3rd, but I can't trust Dak in January, so I got them in 5th. I like Seattle, but I think, Ramon, I'm curious because you hit the nail on the head last year with Detroit and the coordinators. Do you see that impacting Seattle this year, losing Kubiak to the Raiders?
Definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely.
As
Now,
bad as Detroit or even worse?
No, I think it'll be a little bit better because they got the guy from San Fran, right?
I think so, yeah.
They got a guy from San Fran, so it's still going to be some creativeness in that offense. It's just going to be I think it's going to be a stronger adjustment period. Now, let me take a look at their schedule real quick. But I think I like what they did, who they replaced them with.
Yeah.
Right. So I don't think that there's going to be a pretty big drop off, but there's going to be a period where it's that aspiring period, that honeymoon period. Let me figure out, you know how you like your food cooked and stuff like that.
So you're telling me midway through the season, I get to put a thumbnail, are the Seahawks in trouble? And then we'll get all the Seahawks fans back watching the show like last year, and they'll be like, you don't know what you're talking about. The Seahawks are contenders. Because, boy, I made about 3 different Seahawk thumbnails last year asking if they're contenders. And all them Seahawks fans were like, we're 13-4. We're obviously contenders. So hopefully that we
have y'all looked at their schedule? I don't like their schedule.
They start off with New England.
Open up against New England.
Yeah.
Then Arizona, that's cool. Washington, that's kind of cool. Then they Chargers, Niners, Broncos, Kansas, Chicago.
Woo! Yeah. Yeah. And you got to win. Probably you got to go at least, what, 3-2? To play it safe, you got to at least go 3-2.
It just varies.
Their last 6 games. Their last 7 games are Niners, Cowboys, Giants, Philly, Rams twice, and the Panthers.
Yeah, and those are all games they can
Rams
drop.
Twice and Philly. 2 Rams. Philly. You hope that the Rams have clinched already and they ain't playing nobody on J10.
Yeah.
But that's a crazy. Woo.
That's a Super Bowl champion schedule, right?
Yes,
that's kind of what you get, right? And they always talk about the Super Bowl hangover and why they didn't repeat, because man, there's no surprise anymore. No one is saying, oh, because last season and Isaiah, we all 3 of us talked about it. Seattle wasn't on our radar. Hell, even after week 12, they weren't on our. Yeah, they said, well, they're pretty good. They got a chance.
Yeah,
we didn't think that they were going to be a Super Bowl champion, but now the surprise is gone, and guess what?
Yeah,
everybody's waiting on you. So now all of a sudden those you get guys who are satisfied. That's the other thing. Guys get satisfied because they won a Super Bowl. There's a guy that was in Philadelphia and I was in New England, was satisfied, got a Super Bowl. Now I can complain.
Yeah.
And I got my one. Some of these guys, they're not looking to get 4 or 5 or 6. I got my one. Now I want to get paid.
Yep.
Right. Get my contract.
Yeah. So a lot of that comes into play as well too, behind the scenes, the things that we never even hear or see because we're not in the locker room.
And I think Jason makes a good point with Chicago, right? Maybe I am a little too early on him, right? Maybe another year or 2.
No, Jason's wrong. Jason's wrong. Jason's wrong.
I think there is that possibility just because, it's going to be a tough division this year. Like, we've got, I think LA and Chicago are my top 2, but you still got Philadelphia, who's going to be really good. Seattle, I think, will be good. I think I'm not giving Green Bay enough credit. Like I said last week, I just don't really trust Jordan Love like we talked about even last season. I just feel like there's something missing.
Boy, you don't like Jordan Love, man.
It's not even that I don't like him. I think he's good. There's just something there where I'm like, something rubs you wrong about Jordan Love. Like, I don't know about Jordan Love, man. I'm not a big Jordan Love guy. I do think, Minnesota, if Kyler Murray can figure it out, you look at the way Sam Darnold was able to get the ball.
He may have figured it out already. They maybe started them 2 weeks in the preseason.
Boy,
I think they got a shot.
If they can dealing with this kid.
He's got to get the ball. He's got to get the ball to Justin Jefferson. If he does the same thing as Darnold did, I think he's gonna be all right.
Here's my thinking is, what does that say about McCarthy though? If you've got a guy, remember I was in Minneapolis almost this time last year, And no, it was in the end of September. And they had a nickname for him already. I think they had a Monday night game where he played pretty well. They had a nickname for him. J-Mac. Yes, J-Mac. That's the announcer. Oh, J-Mac this. And then on the radio that morning, I was going into the office, J-Mac and da-da-da-da. Now J-Mac looking like Dylan Gabriel. Yeah. This dude, hey, he loses his job supposedly to an inferior quarterback, a guy that's only 5'5". If all of that said, what does it say about you, J-Mac? J-Mac need to find himself in LA with his old coach. They can replace Justin Herbert with him or something. Because again, J-Mac, I think, has started his last game as a Minnesota Viking, in my opinion.
Jason, yes, I'm very sold on Caleb Williams. I've been sold on Caleb Williams since USC. I think Minnesota's got a shot. Like I said, that NFC North, it could go to anybody. Like we got Detroit at the bottom there behind Minnesota, but I mean, I could see Detroit having a revival just off Jahmyr Gibbs alone and people staying healthy. For Detroit, it is about being healthy as well. But I have a lot of belief in Chicago. I think the whole NFC is going to be competitive. And Reggie's telling me to worry about Dak. I'm worried about Dak come January because, like I said, I don't have to worry about Dak in the regular season as long as he's healthy. When it comes to playoffs, then we'll be worried about Dak, and I'll be able to say I was right when we lose in the wild card to some team that we should.
Hey, man, stop jinxing your damn team. We talked about this last week. Listen, I'm not going to let you sit here and just continue just power drive your team week after week during this season. If you ain't got nothing good to say, as Mama used to say, don't say nothing at all. You can't talk about the Cowboys. When we talk about the Cowboys, you put your ass on mute, and we're going about that.
All right, Ramon, say something about the Cowboys then.
Hey, they're an NFL team.
They are an NFL team. What? Give me a real take on them though. Like I know last year we did the schedule. Them and the Chargers, you said lost to all of them. Give me a real outlook on the Cowboys for you this season. How do you feel about it?
This season?
Yeah. I'm curious what you think.
You know what, man? I got a feeling that they are going to be. Let me look at their schedule right now.
They got
break it down to him, Isaiah. Break it down to him. You know the schedule by heart.
I do know the schedule by heart at this point, but I am going to pull it up so I don't make myself sound like I don't know what I'm talking about here. But I think the schedule. I mean, you look at this schedule, Ramon. There's some tough games in here, but they're all well spread out. Like. I think I said last week, I think we beat New York and Washington to open up the year, but I think we can split the Ravens or the Texans game. I think I said last week we can beat Baltimore, but I'm pretty sure we lose to Houston just off the defense alone. But I wouldn't be surprised if we lose both or split them. Now I
got them at 10-7.
All right, that's fair.
I think Isaiah, you had them at 11-6 or 12-5.
I don't know, like 12-5. So it's not that far off.
Yeah. Yeah, but the thing about Dallas, man, right? Is this Jerry? And I've got that, on our lips as well. Is this Jerry's last run, right? Jerry Jones has been the owner of the Cowboys since I want to say 89, I think, if I remember right. They fired Tom Landry and all in all. I think it was 89, maybe 90. I can't remember exactly, but it was damn near around that time. So you're talking about 36 years. He's been the owner of the Dallas Cowboys. Yes, he's got his Super Bowls in those mid 90s. It's been stone ever since. But as Jerry Jones make his last run, you've got a top 10 quarterback. You got a great draft. You've got your receiving core is probably in the NFC 1 or 2 at worst in the NFC. And again, like I said, I know you love your boy CeeDee Lamb, but I like that other dude more on the field. Now he gonna F up about 2 games this year. He gonna lose his shit about 2 games this year. But I'm gonna tell you, I just think they got something there.
Here's the most positive thing I can say about Dallas this offseason, right? You ready?
I'm gonna mute you if you don't.
I think this is the first time in 4 to 5 seasons where I haven't heard Jerry Jones try to create a headline. Oh, I don't know if we're gonna pay this guy. Oh, I don't know. Like I like what they did with George Pickens. They sat down, they said, we're franchise tagging you. Let's not worry about paying you. Let's just go out here and play football. Remember how the 2 times we've paid Dak already in his career, there's been these ongoing negotiations. Like the first time he got hurt with his ankle, whatever. The second time Dak wasn't hurt at all. And there was this whole back and forth. Dak said something. Then Jerry said something. Micah last year, right? The whole thing, and then he laid up on the bed or whatever in the preseason game. There was no back and forth. There was no, oh, we got to pay this player, and Jerry's talking about, oh, we like our guys. That's what I'm glad I didn't hear, right? Oh, we like our in-house guys. Because we heard that all last year too, when the defense was atrocious. And we all knew that coming in, and he wanted to say, well, we like our guys, we like our guys. There was none of that. We went out, and I get it, Von Miller's old, but that is a veteran signing that I think is going to help that young defense, right? Because the defense is relatively young, looking at the ages on there. Yeah. That's a signing that you make when you think you've got a shot, bringing in a veteran like that. So I like what Dallas
to put you over
done.
the top.
Yes, to put you over the top. I like what Dallas has done, and I think on paper, I agree with everybody in the media said. On paper, they can beat anybody they want, but that's my problem. When we go play Arizona, when we go play Washington or New York or these teams that we know we're better than, we're not going to score.
The government-mandated loss.
Government-mandated Arizona Cardinals loss. We're going to play down to their level, and that's the problem. Can we win the games that we should win, and can we win the games that people maybe don't think we're going to win? Like San Francisco, Green Bay, LA, Baltimore, Houston, those 5 games right there. If you can come out of that 3-2, 4-1, maybe I'm convinced there's a divisional appearance or an NFC title appearance. But those 5 games, the games that matter the most, are really what I'm going to be looking at, especially Green Bay and San Fran, 2 teams that have consistently knocked you out of the playoffs, that on paper that you're better than. If you can't beat those 2 teams, more importantly, I'm bought out. I'm selling all my stock come those 2 games if we go 0-2 in those. If you split them, I'm in.
You sold it all 2 damn years ago. You ain't got no stock anymore.
I bought a little. I talked to Jerry on the phone a couple weeks ago, and I bought my stock in when he got Caleb Downs back. So I'm bought back in a little bit, but I'm not fully sold quite yet.
I'm bullish on Quinn Williams, man. They signed to the extension deal. This is a dude. He's not just a run stay. He's not a guy that you can plug a hole. This guy plays the pass as well too, and I think him getting that deal and then them revamping that defense, it's going to show him, right, for who he was coming out of Alabama when the Jets paid him and how he played his first couple of years and with the Jets. I think Quinn Williams has a breakout season this year and leads that defense to probably a top 10 ranking in defense.
I like the defensive coordinator too. I think he's going to make a huge impact for this Dallas defense. I think they're going to be a little more interesting to watch. I think the run game's going to be good. It all comes, like I said, it all comes down to January. When we get in January and it's playoff time, what is number 4 going to do? And what is number 88 going to do? Because I agree with Decott on everything. I said it last year. Pickens was better. If Pickens was here, CD was here. I mean, you got to be on the same type of timing heading into this season. And it all comes down to number 4 and number 88 in playoff time. That's where I think we'll be fine in the regular season. 10-7, 12-4. It doesn't matter.
I know Ramon got some thoughts on that because his rivalry squad is Niners and Cowboys. Talk to us, man. I know you chomping at the bit.
We better than them, man.
Yeah, all in.
We're just a better organization, man. So I don't even know what there is to talk about.
I got no argument on it. I got no
words. Man, dude, Isaiah been talking for the last 10 minutes about the Cowboys, man.
Hey, it's to replace the Lakers, It's to replace them,
There ain't 10 minutes worth of content to talk about the Cowboys.
Did you see I was at the team dinner with the Lakers? I was at the team dinner. Slovenia. I headed over there a couple weeks ago, too.
Why are we talking about the Lakers, man?
Hey, listen, there's a government mandate that we throw in the Lakers somehow, some way when we're on the show. He's just gonna find a little nuance. He's gonna crawl his way in a little crevice. Let me throw the Lakers in there real quick.
Up in the right-hand corner, it says we've been live for 43 minutes, 48 seconds and counting. We've talked about Shador, the Lakers, and Dallas. Wow.
We talked about Chicago.
Wow.
We talked about Hammond. We talked about Hammond.
I understand we talked about them other things, but we talked about those 3 individuals or teams within 43 minutes, man. We need to be off the air, man. We need to be banned. We need to have to go to Congress to get them to okay us to come back.
Well,
Dylan talking about them 3. But someone in the comments said, you guys feel that safe or secure or believe in Caleb Williams? That guy up there probably does. I don't.
This guy,
Yeah,
hey, you're right.
They do. I'm not. I don't. I gotta see more from Caleb.
I'm sold, baby. I'm sold. Listen. I didn't like Caleb Williams when he left Oklahoma and went to USC. I thought he should have stayed there, handled his bids, but he followed his coach. And that's what guys do. They follow their coach. I thought he was underwhelming in some cases at USC with the hype that came to him. And then he came in as number one pick, and everybody wanted to talk about everything other than his play, his fingernails, and how he cried in his mother's lap after the game. But what I saw last season, submitted my thoughts on Caleb Williams. That throw he that on the rope, 45 yards on the rope touchdown, spinning in the cold. It said a lot to me, and I just think his coach is the right coach for him. And I think he's going to be. I'm gonna clip this. He's going to be the first Chicago Bear quarterback to throw over 4,000 yards. It's happening this season, and he's going to throw over 30 touchdowns. Book it, clip that.
Well, I want to talk about the second.
Hey, did somebody say something?
I want to talk about the second best team in Indiana because we just talked about the Bears. So I want to talk about the Colts now, real quick, because
we do.
I want to talk about the Colts. I know this is crazy coming from me, but I do want to discuss Indianapolis real quick, because I think it'll be an interesting year, right? I think I've come around on the Colts a little bit, man. I think I've come around. Being at Wish 8 for the last week, I think I've got a little bit of a sweet spot for the Colts. Just this week, I think I've got a little bit of I think they could be good. I think they could be all right. I think the defense is going to be good, but on the offensive side of the ball, someone at Wish said it, and I'm going to say it on here. I think they're one injury away. And the season goes down the drain. It all comes down to Daniel Jones. And I think the preseason games are a good example of that too. Riley Leonard and Anthony Richardson. I thought AR looked good in the New England game, but both quarterbacks struggled in the Atlanta game. So I don't know. I mean, if Daniel Jones can still be mobile, I think that's really the biggest factor in all this, because I think that's what made him really good last year for the Colts was his mobility and able to escape the pocket. Is that Achilles tear going to bother him this season? Take it away.
Hey, I don't know what happened. It just happened.
Okay, go ahead then. You give me.
Sometimes the sound just pop up. I'm just gonna say this, right? The Colts are the Indianapolis Colts. Okay, they've got Daniel Jones, who, by all accounts, is looking great in practice, right? Looking great in practice, doing well, and all those things, right? We'll find out in game one. Again, I don't ever want a guy get hurt, and I'm going to just tell you this: I think Daniel Jones is one of the most likable guys that you in the NFL, right? But when he came to Indianapolis, everybody wasn't banging his door down to grab him. He had a great start to the season. He tore his Achilles in I think early December, late November of last season. This is the month of August. We're talking 9.5 months in. I'm just still. I know we talked to Matt Taylor about it. Matt's a lot more bullish on Jones than I am. He thinks he's going to be fine physically. I don't know. It just worries me, right? Because the way he uses his legs, which tells me Jonathan Taylor. For those of y'all who are on DraftKings and want to do some futures bets, put your money on Jonathan Taylor. Wherever his over/under is on yards, you probably want to hit that, because they're going to have to get him in that running game like they started last year. Mm-hmm. I think you paid him. He's going to be your bell cow, man. If the Colts are going to have that success, Jonathan Taylor is going to be that guy.
And I mean, and like I said, if Daniel Jones goes down, the season's over. Like AR and Riley, AR looked good in the New England game, but they both looked really bad against Atlanta. But if he stays healthy and that defense can stay healthy, I think there is a possibility. I think Keenan Allen will be good for them as well, especially with Pierce probably not playing week one with the way it's shaping up to look like.
I know we're in Indy. I mean, I know there's people going to attack, but nobody was beating down Keenan Allen's door either.
That's true.
And what does that tell you when you pay? These are facts. When you pay Alec Pierce number one money, who's only been a number two, and on top of that, now it looks as though there's a chance he may not even start the season.
Yeah.
What does that say about your decision making when maybe Alec Pierce making the decision to have the other surgery, whatever the case may be? It just seems like there's a miss on 56th Street right now, regardless of me being a Colts fan or not. It just seems like they just almost can't get out of their own way in some of these things that are happening to them. And I don't want to hear about injuries. You know why? Every team in the NFL has injuries. Hey, we got a guy down in the bottom, down there, that guy there, Ramon, his team, hey, they are the infirmary. They were the infirmary last year. So and I didn't hear him. Yeah, he whined a little bit about injury, but not like other people in Indianapolis about those injuries. Oh my gosh. So just everybody gets injuries, right? So
yeah,
deal with it, Colts. Deal with it.
I kind of agree, but I also, the season's come down to if Daniel Jones is there or not. Right? I mean, last year just kind of showed that if he's healthy, this team can be really successful. If he's not there, they're not going to be successful.
I apologize. I'm sorry. I forgot. He knows the system.
No, I mean
that matters.
Oh, you're replying to a comment, but I just it does come down to Jones being healthy because I don't trust Leonard and I don't trust AR. In the schedule, they got some games they can win. I just don't. Are we really
Facts,
buying,
Eric? Facts.
Are we buying? I feel like when we've gone over schedules already, when we see Kansas City, we're like penciling it in as like, yeah, Kansas City probably wins that one. And we talked about Kenneth Walker being in the backfield. I think Daryl makes a great point about Kansas City's receiver room, but I don't know. As the weeks have gone on, I think the Colts probably beat Kansas City. Now it is in Kansas City, which is going to be hard, but it's not going to be cold.
That's weird because they played Kansas City last year in Kansas City, didn't they?
And it was close, but they did drop the ball, right?
Yeah, they pissed the bed.
Remo, what are you thinking?
We talking about the Colts again?
Yeah, we're on the Colts. Yeah.
No, don't offend the Colts fan now. You better
we got a lot of them in here.
I don't care. So we've talked about the Colts. We've talked about the Cowboys. We've talked about the Lakers. And we've talked about the Cleveland Browns.
Lakers don't even count. I mentioned it for like 10 seconds.
So we haven't talked about no championship teams.
We mentioned
Seattle, the Rams.
Oh, yeah, we mentioned them.
I mean, the Bills and the Ravens, we can't count as Super Bowl teams. I mean, they ain't even seen a Super Bowl, so that's a joke. That's a joke. It's a joke.
This is my overall view on the Colts, man. I don't know. I think they got an identity crisis. I don't know if they know what they want to be.
Yeah.
Who do you want to be? What do you want to be? It seems like they pick up these players that have had success elsewhere or at some point in their time, but does it match? It's like, I like steak, right? And I like peanut butter, but I don't like peanut butter and steak. None of this matches, man. Like, what are you doing? What are you putting together, man? If you look at the roster, if you take the roster, both of you guys know it in and out, and you start looking at the pieces, do they match? Like for championship ingredients, do they match?
I like the defensive side of the ball a lot. It's just
I'm talking about the whole team, man. Quit talking about the macaroni, man. I'm talking about the meal.
Hey, to your point. This Travarius Ward finished the season. You remember at the beginning in the last season, he said, if I would have had another concussion, I would have retired. We asked on this show, Money Matt Taylor, the best play-by-play guy in the NFL. We said, hey, is he going to wear the halo? He says, D-Cot, I hope he does. I said, tell Mr. Ward that D-Cot said he needs to wear it. Because, you got to protect yourself, right? And I saw a short video of him, and I think it's his youngest child and his wife, right? I thought that was a great little short video. I think they were somewhere taking pictures or something like that. And it just says all you want to know, man. That little boy, or I think the little boy, needs his dad to be right, not to be mush. And if you have an opportunity to protect yourself, those halos aren't heavy. Most in college, most of them practice with those halos on now. So they're not like it's a 10-pound deal. And you got to have a stronger neck, right? So Mr. Ward, I know you're watching because all the Indianapolis Colts watch the Game Time Live. Wear the halo. Wear the halo. Be right and do right, and be the impact player that the Colts brought you in from San Fran for them a few years ago. So be right. I don't want you to retire. I don't want you to go out that way. Be right. So that's my take for that defensive backfield. I do think they're going to be pretty good in the defensive backfield. I think Sauce Gardner's a good player. I just don't think he's worth the cost that they paid him. I just don't. I think he's a good player. But we'll find out this season. And Matt Taylor said, hey, they threw away from him a lot, right?
Yes.
Well, if you got Ward on one side and Sauce on the other, they got to throw against one of them.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So let's find out what happens.
Like I said, and I'm talking about the macaroni here for a second, but I think the defense, I really like the defense. All my questions for this team are on the offensive side of the ball at the end of the day, right? I mean, you can lean on Jonathan Taylor a good amount. I think he's going to continue to be productive, but it does the receiver room and Daniel Jones being healthy. It comes down to really those two things for me. I've kind of turned around on the Colts, right? You spend a week in a studio where that's where you're focusing your time on. I've come around on them a little bit. So
you're turning Homer Isaiah now.
I'm turning it a little bit. So Reggie, I need some props, but I'm turning a little bit on them. I think if they're healthy, maybe they're past Jacksonville for second in the division. I think Houston should be better this year, and I'm hoping CJ Stroud is better this year. But I do think
he cut his hair. He cut his hair.
That's a difference maker. We'll see. I
Listen.
think Indianapolis and Jacksonville, in my opinion, are probably like right here. But with Houston's defense, I just have them up here because I think Stroud will be at least serviceable. And I mean, he hasn't really been unhealthy, so I see him being there. It's just him being productive and being a Pro Bowl quarterback.
Hey, Houston. We're talking about good teams, right?
Yes, thank you very much.
So I'm gonna tell you this. I know what I said about the Rams, in the NFC. If in fact that quarterback out of OHIO calls back a couple of years, and I'm gonna tell you, they picked up his 5th-year option in April. So he's got his option. He's making what I think it's $21 million, something like that. He's got his option, and now he is playing. There's no contract talk in front of you now. Everything's behind you. Now, if you have the season that you think you're going to have with that team, your tight end just got hurt. He's out for the season. I'm telling you, Houston. I would not be surprised at a Houston Rams Super Bowl if, in fact, that quarterback plays like he's got nothing to fear.
Yeah. I'm gonna get myself killed talking good about Houston on the show right now because Jason's watching, but it's all good.
Hey, truth is the truth, man. Facts over feelings.
Look. For about the whole NBA season, we had 2 black SUVs parked right outside my window. Anytime I mentioned ill will of a certain somebody, so I'm used to, it's all good. Jerry Jones has been on me. He's like, can you just say something nice? And I was like, all right, I appreciate you not saying we like our guy. So there's my one good comment. Oh, it's the Jags comment. I mean, yeah, like I said, I've been in a studio all week where I've been
what's wrong with that? I mean, you didn't say anything off color though, right?
I mean, now you see what happened. I had an opinion on the Colts. I'm covered now. I've been looking at Colts media all week, and now I'm like, maybe Jacksonville won't be that good. Like, see, now my mind's been a little persuade. I can't.
Well, maybe here's what we'll do then. Since you're in a biased environment, we don't want we want facts over feelings.
I'm telling you what, I'm going to be on the couch for week 1 for the Colts. I'm bought in to watch the Colts. I'm invested. I'm going to have my Reggie Wayne jersey on. You know what? I'm throwing it on right now, just for Reggie and Jason. I'm throwing it on. Give me just a second. I'm going to get my Reggie Wayne jersey on. I'm feeling the Colts spirit today.
Speaking of Reggie Wayne, he's the receivers coach. So, listen, that dude's a bad dude, right? So let's see what happens with these receivers, this season. This is going to be a true test. You got a full season. It's going to be interesting to see how it happens. What do you think about that?
I just cleared my eyes out. You know what I'm saying? I rubbed them a little bit, got a little stuff out of them, man, because I didn't know if I was seeing things the correct way. Is this what year is this? 2010, 15, 1990 something? Is this graphic for this year?
I bet he's questioning our graphic sense for what we've got here.
Okay, okay, Ramon, tell me what you don't like.
Is this for this year?
Yeah, I mean it's we're going off ceiling, right? That's what it's based on.
You ain't gotta explain that. Nothing. Just you got the damn screen up there.
Well, go ahead, Ramon. Go ahead, Ramon. Go ahead, Ramon. Get at me. I'm willing to hear it. I'm willing to explain everything, but some of these I'm gonna give
you cannot explain.
Go ahead.
You cannot explain playoff bound Falcons.
Okay, now what's it? Hold on. You're gonna be shocked by this. This was not me. That was D-Cot. D-Cot.
Hand raised. Hands raised. And I also said, just make sure we're gonna talk about what I said. I said I think the Falcons win the division, but I also said it's gonna be a 2-game gap between the last place team and the first place team. And health matters.
Because I think Carolina is going to be significantly above everyone, but I wouldn't be surprised if we see New Orleans win it, Carolina win it, or whatever. I'm just saying, I think this season Carolina will be well and above everyone in the NFC South, but I wouldn't be surprised if they also don't win the division either. But I did not say Atlanta. I actually have Atlanta I'd probably say they're going to be the worst.
That's not trying to protect yourself, man. We know you didn't pick Atlanta. We know it was last year.
Go ahead, Ramon. Go ahead.
There's a world where Jacksonville, Dallas, and Atlanta all make the playoffs. Wow.
I'm just saying, it's all.
But I think that's not a crazy stretch.
Which one's the craziest? Because if you say Jacksonville, I won't disagree.
Atlanta and Jacksonville are by far the craziest.
Yeah,
well, let's make sure we put let's make sure we put on here. The team at the end is the weakest of those teams as well, too. Let's we gotta make sure we preface that as well.
Atlanta should be at the end of the mid area.
I agree. Atlanta. I wouldn't disagree.
We're talking about their division, right? We're talking about they
got a brand new quarterback.
Yeah.
Right. They got a brand new offensive coordinator, brand new head coach. They got a crash out that's gonna miss 8 games. Man, the only thing they got going for them is Lemon Pepper Monday, man.
Hey,
don't forget the Hawks.
Yeah, dude, this is crazy, man.
Don't forget the Hawks.
You got those guys playoff bound.
Listen, hey man, stop there and defending yourself. I said it was me. Damn it, that's a 5th time. It wasn't me. That was last year. No, damn it. But I also said with a flip of a turn, they can finish 4th.
Yeah.
I just think that their offense, they're in a dome, and I think Kevin Stefanski is a whisper from an offensive perspective. He was just in Cleveland. So I just think you've got a good group of offensive talent there, and we'll find out. I mean, I'm not bullish on like Isaiah was somebody going to the Super Bowl, but last year. But I think Atlanta with that offense they've got is the best offense in that division.
It wasn't Super Bowl. If I could remember, I don't even remember saying that.
I think you better say World Champ 3 years in a row or something.
Honestly, I may have just said they weren't even going to win the division last year. I don't remember this. Well,
tell you what I'll do. I'll go back in history. I'll grab it.
Oh, okay. All right. And you know what? It'll magically disappear.
Let me adjust something real quick.
Where else you want to talk, Ramon, on this tier?
I actually think Jacksonville will make the playoffs. You got them in the right spot.
Okay.
Jacksonville's probably the right spot.
All right.
Dallas, I don't know if they're in the right spot.
I agree. Well, hold on. Because we were at odds with this last week. Daryl wanted them in conference champs. I threw them in playoff bound. I threw them in playoff bound for sure. I do think the teams that we have behind Dallas, I do think Dallas is a step ahead. Now, Cincinnati is arguable, but for me, the reason Cincinnati isn't higher is because of health. But everyone below them, I think Dallas is better than, for sure, on paper.
Why do we think Dallas will win the conference over Philly?
No, we didn't say conference over Philly. Right, so if you take a look, so you got Dallas is playoff bound, right? And the conference we think are here, right? But that could change. I think Dallas is going to be right there with Philly. I still think Philly wins the division. Wins the division, but I think Dallas is right there because of their offensive firepower. And their improved defense. It's going to be fun to see the NFC East this year as well too.
Do you want me to respond and then Ramon, you'll go?
No, that's
whatever.
I think Dallas can win the division. I would say right now, I think it's going to be close. I do think Philadelphia, They lost their guy that came to Dallas, obviously. The defense is going to be good. The offense, it'll be interesting to see what Hurts and Devontae Smith do as that 1-2 punch. I don't know. I mean, like I said, I think Dallas, I think they've got enough talent to win and be good. I mean, the defense is a far improvement from last year. Now, is it like this great top 5 defense? No. But you look at where the record was at last year. They went to a draw with Green Bay. They had some games last year that they didn't win, where it was like, oh, okay, there's something there, but the defense is just really bad. And then on Thanksgiving week, there was a better defense there after the trade deadline, and they beat Kansas City. Now, obviously, Kansas City was beat up, what have you, but it was still a very feel-good win, especially for me in Thanksgiving down in Texas watching that game with family. I do think there is a sense
He's so giddy. He texted me that day. Did you see this? Hey, did you see what's going on? My family, we're having a great time down here.
Ramon, I do think at the end of the day, this team loses in the wild card of the divisional. I do think there'll be a disappointment, but I do think they'll be fun to watch in the regular season. And they may win the division, but I do think they lose in the wild card. That's why I have them making the playoffs, but ultimately losing to a team that they probably shouldn't be losing to. I think it's going to be close, though, with them in Philly. Like, I think it'll be a one-game difference.
Let me ask this, Ramon. Bottom up. Let's go bottom up as I'm sitting there looking. Do you have any issue with the 5 teams on the bottom? See in the draft.
I think the Raiders may be somewhere in that bottom.
That's fair.
Well, see, we got them as worst of the mid, right? You know, that's so we can see that. Yeah. What about the mid? You got Tampa Bay, Giants, Colts, Steelers, Saints. What do you think?
That's a tough one.
Because we got some back and forth, right?
Yeah.
Between that mid and that wild card, got some tough numbers in there. But I cannot say that I can see that. I can see all of that.
Yeah.
And then when you look at playoff bound, removing the Falcons, we would agree all of those other 5 teams are going to probably make the playoff.
Or, be close.
Yeah, I think that
right in the running. Running.
The Cowboys and Bengals are the ones that scare me the most for obvious reasons outside of football.
Yeah, I agree. I agree.
And then you got your top 4, the conference champs, right? Seattle, Eagles, Texans, Broncos. What do y'all think about Sean Payton, man? I'm starting to sour on Sean Payton, right? I see a lot of machismo. I see a lot of Parcells want to be in him, right? A lot of talk tough and all of that. Your quarterback got hurt last year. You're still living off that Super Bowl that you lucked up and beat the Colts in back in 08 or 09, right? Well, what are y'all's take on Sean Payton, the coach?
Ramon, you go first.
Sean Payton, the coach. I think a lot of those guys fit the bill of what people think a coach should be. So since they fit the bill and they had some success previously, they get a pass. I don't know how it seems like his story is coming to an end. Like, you were good at one time, what you did worked at one time. You're still doing the same old things and it just ain't working. Not to the championship level, but we're still giving you championship level of respect.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's is he a good coach? Yeah, he's a good coach. Is he past his time? Maybe past his time. And I don't think, let me make sure I put this out there. I don't think past your time has anything to do with age. It has to do with adaptability.
Yes.
And I don't know if he's adapted to, not only he may have adapted to the X and O's, but have you adapted to personalities?
Mm-hmm.
People, human equity, So is he a good coach? Yeah, he knows football. Can he apply what he knows to today's climate and culture? I don't know. It doesn't look like it. Not in the championship way.
Isaiah?
Yeah, I get where Ramon's coming from. I think with Denver the last couple of years, I've always felt they were a quarterback away. And I think I'm not gonna sit here and say what ifs, but they got to the AFC title game last year. They didn't have Bo Nix. Obviously that hurt, but there's an upgrade on this team in Jalen Waddle. Now, can Jalen Waddle be a number one wide receiver? I think we're going to find out this year. I think the Broncos have enough to get back to where they were last year. And I think if they aren't successful, it does fall on Sean Payton and the way he coaches, right? Because you look at the relationship him and Russell Wilson had before Bo Nix got there. It seems like Bo Nix is a quarterback that just works with Sean Payton really well. He's not afraid. And then, from interviews I'm seeing and clips, when you're Sean Payton's quarterback, you got to have a voice of yourself. You got to be able to speak up. And it seems like Bo Nix is able to do that. Speak up for himself, go back and forth with Sean Payton and not get shut down by him. And I think that's why that relationship works. And if they can find that same formula that they had last year and bring it into this year, I think the division is theirs, right? The Chargers are going to be competitive. The Chiefs, I feel, are a question mark more than just, oh, yeah, they're going to beat everyone they play. I think once we get to about December, January, if they're healthy, it's going to be tough for teams to beat them at home. But it feels like the Broncos' division's to win. And if it does fail, it's off the back of the relationship of Bo Nix and Sean Payton. If those two guys aren't having the same chemistry that they had last year, and there's an ounce of, oh, I don't like this guy, or I don't like how this guy's doing it, then it's going to fall apart, right? The same reason why I think Philadelphia had issues last year. You got Sirianni not liking A.J. Brown and Brown not liking Sirianni, and it did play a factor in their overall performance. Not saying that's why they lost in the playoffs or whatever, but it impacted them overall, and I think that's where Denver's at right now. If that relationship is not as strong as it was last year, they won't be as successful. But, we have them in playoff bound, but they're just as good as Houston and New England, and I think that they proved it last year. I mean, they beat the odds-on favorite in Buffalo to get to the AFC title game. So I've got no reason to doubt Denver coming into this year, but I agree with Ramon. It does fall on Sean Payton, and I think it also falls on Bo Nix in that relationship for sure.
Well, you got to realize, Bo Nix damn near 30, right? So he was in college for 7 years too, right? He was a son of a coach. Going when he got out of high school, went to Auburn, transferred out. And so he doesn't have a long line. He didn't have a long time, right? So he from an NFL quarterback age wise. He's in his prime. and this is what, year 3?
Yes.
Yeah. So to that point, something to think about. And I want to hit on something you said about Sean Payton, challenging his quarterbacks, right? Russell Wilson didn't have to have back. That's not his character. His character was never to go arguing back and forth with a coach, right? And Sean maybe didn't like that. But that's Sean Payton's problem, right? And then when he goes to the Giants, you make the little dig at him about, we wish the other guy was playing against us, not the rookie, right? Little things like that. What Sean Payton said, this kind of, then he tried to come back and say, well, I wasn't talking about Russell. Everybody know you were, right? Stop playing the game, bro. So for me, I think Denver's going to win the division. I mean, the division. But I just think they've got to have the right matchup to go past wild card weekend, right? If they get that bye.
Ramon? Well, you already said it. Never mind.
Already talked about that guy.
My bad. No, I mean, it's going to be interesting. Like I said, I agree. It's their division to win. I think the Chargers will be tough. And I think the Chiefs have a lot of question marks.
What's your take on that quarterback in L.A.?
He's still a top 10 quarterback in my eyes, but he's Dak Prescott of the AFC. That's all it is. Dak Prescott of the AFC.
But you give him more love than you give Dak. And Dak is your teams.
Lucky for you, D-Cut, they're on the same standing this year. Me and Justin Herbert have had minor communication this offseason. I talked to him once on the phone. He's like, where are you going to stay on the podcast? I'm like, well, talking to the producers and stuff, we decided to nix you from a lot of the program this year just because, that playoff performance, you got outdid by a rookie. So we got to cut back on you a little bit this year. But, maybe if you guys start out undefeated, maybe, you'll get a thumbnail. But I can't make any promises this year.
So you got to wait. Gotcha. You got to wait.
But I have been on the phone with my guy, Joe Burrow. He's revving to go. I've heard he's been making the offensive linemen do burpees every single practice. He's getting them in condition. So if that offensive line holds together, I've got no problems with. I think Cincinnati is going to be really good.
What do you say to those people, Isaiah, who say Joe Burrow done nothing more than Herbert or Dak Prescott? They say he's got all his money. They got that big contract. He's been injured. He's been out. What do you say to those people who say he's no better than a mid quarterback?
I say he's better than Allen and Jackson all time, just off the strength of he's the only guy out of those three that have beaten Mahomes. And I don't care if it was 20 years ago or whatever. He's been to a Super Bowl, and every year we talk about Buffalo's the favorite. Lamar Jackson and the Ravens are the favorite. Oh, Josh Allen's this time is a multi-time MVP. Josh Allen's an MVP. Joe Burrow ain't where Joe Burrow.
Don't be trying to be negative about my teams. I see how you throw a little shade towards my team.
I'm just saying, everybody loves to we flaunt Baltimore and Buffalo for the last 5 years. And, you know, with Cincinnati, we've done a little bit of the same thing. But that's the only guy that's beaten Lamar in the playoffs. You know, Patrick Mahomes in the playoffs. Cincinnati's ceiling, for me, every year when healthy, is an AFC title game. And I agreed with you last year when we did a full show on Joe Burrow. And we said he's got to be healthy. He's got to be out there on the field. I don't disagree, because when he is out there on the field, that's my quarterback. That's the quarterback that I want every single time.
Are you doing the T.O.? That's my quarterback, man. Are you doing the
teardrop? Time.
Can we get the teardrop? Can we get the teardrop?
I'm taking Joe Burrow over everybody. If you told me build a team right now, I'm taking Joe Burrow at quarterback. And if I get a great offensive line, I'm taking Joe Burrow. I don't got to question it. I don't got to worry about it.
I'll let Ramon comment on that. I'll let Ramon comment.
If I have a great offensive line, give me Joe Burrow. I don't care. Disagree with me, whatever. That's fine.
A healthy Joe Burrow may be top 4 quarterback in the NFL.
I agree.
He's so happy. He's so giddy.
Thank you, Coach. Okay, you can say something back now, but
Joe Burrow's something else, man. When he healthy, he good.
He won LSU a national title. You know,
him real good.
No, he didn't win LSU a national title.
The team.
They had a monster team. Now, granted, he was the guy leading the run. Man, they had a hell of a team that year, man. You know, that was one of the best of all time.
They should really retire his number. You know, just thinking about it, they should really retire his number. I think, you know, maybe hang it up. He did a lot for that school, right? Not just the Heisman Trophy.
I see what you did there.
Not just the Heisman Trophy. He also helped them win a national title, beat Alabama that year, beat Clemson and Trevor Lawrence that year. We got to make sure we don't say that number on this show, or we may get sued as well. So we got to be careful. We can't mention that number a lot. It's the number after 4. But I don't want to say it just in case we get sued. So don't do that, Daryl. He's gonna come get us. You better be careful. You gotta be careful.
And what's your take on that, Ramon? What's your take on that?
Man, I'm torn, man. I understand him. I kind of understand him.
I do from a certain aspect, yeah.
What aspect is it? You won the Heisman. You are the best player in college football that year.
Yeah.
You got to treat me like the best player in college football that year. There's only one person that gets that every year, and I got it.
Yeah.
I got it.
But you're but among like the LSU greats, he's probably not even in the top 5.
Yeah, we keep talking about the LSU greats and this and this. I was the greatest for 1 year in college football.
Yeah.
Here's my take on it, right? The only number at LSU is synonymous with LSU football is number 7. It ain't number 5. It ain't gonna never be number 5. The number 7 is the LSU number. They've got a thing down in Baton Rouge where they decide who's wearing number 7, and it's based off of the play on the field, not off of a promise of a recruit in a visit, right? Number 7 is the only number that LSU has that is golden, right? So for me, number 5, you're right, Ramon. You're talking about Heisman Trophy winner, bad dude, came from Arizona State, bad dude. My one concern is, what was the conversation had about this number 5 and all that deal? If y'all didn't have any conversation about it, you can't bring it up now. I mean, why you bring it up now? You should have had that conversation back when you left, or maybe a handshake agreement or a nod. Maybe they did. Brian Kelly was there. Remember, Brian Kelly was there too. That's the other thing. Maybe Brian Kelly agreed to it.
I truly understand, having a discussion and everything. But you, as a player, you sometimes think like, look, dude, like I won the Heisman, like.
Yeah. Oh, did he freeze? I was wondering. I was waiting for that next. I thought he took a long pause. I think he froze. Yeah, he froze. Okay. I was wondering. I was like, I thought he took a long pause. I was thinking to myself.
You just can't get that number.
You froze, Ramon. You froze.
Everything in the house froze, man. Here we go. We back. Right?
Oh, okay. There you go.
Man, you got 100 numbers, man. You got 0.
He's got to connect with wire to the nines, man.
5 is a Heisman Trophy winner.
Yeah, that's right.
I know. I need him out here. For real. Can y'all hear me now?
Yeah, we got you.
Like, it's 0 to a 99 on numbers, man. Somebody help me out. 5 got to be the last of the last resort, and you got to be a bad boy to wear 5. Just like at Ohio State, if you ain't a bad boy, you're not wearing the block 0, and you're not wearing 2. And we're not even discussing it.
That's the point. He's 100% dead, 1,000,000% solid on that, right? 1,000,000%.
Your boy from the running back that went to Tennessee, committed to Tennessee, between Tennessee and Ohio State, that everyone loved, DGG. He wanted 0 was one of his things. Money was the biggest, but 0 the number, and it was like, man, we're not getting the money, and you're not getting 0. 0 goes to somebody who's shown us over time that you worthy of that. Yeah. Number 2, at one point, Legend Bay was number 2 for Ohio State. They took the number off him in practice and were like, nah, you're going to wear this in practice for a little bit because you're not living up to that 2. Yeah. Now he's got that 2 back, Kenyatta Jackson Jr. is wearing 2 for Ohio State. We know what that dude can do. We know how he get down. You're not wearing 2. You're not wearing the block O unless you coming with it. And I understand, my man, if somebody else would have been 5 that had the credentials that looked like he was going to be another top draft pick, then yeah, I think he would have felt a little bit different.
Yeah, I get it.
Here's another example, right, of a Heisman Trophy winner, but also a national champion. This year, there's going to be somebody wearing number 6 for Alabama. That was Devontae Smith. He had one of the best years of any receiver who won a Heisman Trophy and a national title the same year.
Yeah.
And he ain't said a peep. And that's all I'm saying. I think sometimes it's perspective, right? And Bama doesn't have numbers like Ohio State does. Like I said, 0 and 2, or LSU number 7, right? But the thing is, though, you got to be careful, right, of asking for that number. And that young player, they interviewed him. He said, "Yeah, hey, I was promised the number, nothing but love, for the quarterback. But I want it." That's what he said.
Interesting what Corey said, especially that's his quarterback right now.
Yeah. Because you got 130 players, you only got 99 numbers. So some of them got to have the dupes, right? But Corey's right. That's something to ponder about. Now, if Jaden Daniels had a agreement with the organization, not with the coach, because hell, he ain't here no more, right?
Yeah.
It may be some teeth there, but we don't know that, and we'll probably never know that.
Yeah.
When you got cats win national champ, when you got cats winning Heisman's and going number 2 in the draft pick, something like that, you got to start making that number sacred. Like, nah, you can't rock that.
Hey, they ain't got that many damn numbers.
Hey, we can figure something out. If somebody ain't getting the jersey, you can sit behind the wall, carry a clipboard for a little bit. But man, everybody can't rock every number. One of the boys on my team was like, let me get that 6. I'm like, nah, bro, I want 6. And you don't get like that. So you could be 5.9, you could be 7.1, but you can't be 6, man, unless you come to work every day.
No, that's tough, man. I prefer if there was an agreement, that's fine, but You know, and I think Corey said he thinks he's tripping.
Corey, I agree though. I
think his people are tripping on more so on this as well. Just you won the Heisman Trophy, great, you know, but it's LSU, brother. You didn't make. And here's the deal. I'm gonna tell you this. Remember last year we talked about it the year before. LSU is its own brand, man. LSU is going to always have a great players coming in there. They may have a season where they're 8-3 or 8-4, but it's LSU, bro. And that's a long history of great players at LSU, man. And yes, you know, Jaden Daniels was a great player at LSU, won the Heisman Trophy. But bro, it's LSU. It's a standalone. It don't need you to bat for them. It just doesn't.
Yeah, very, very, very true. Man, great NFL conversation. Do we want to get any?
So like I said, Mr. Pimpcher, your school, your program got to tell people, no, you're not wearing that. You're not wearing that. I'm not saying that's an incoming player problem. I'm saying that it should never be a decision of an income player. It should be a no from the beginning.
See, 7 is though, but 5. That's what I'm saying. If the app is 7, it's a whole. You got to go through the whole litany.
Yeah, but I'm saying now, I'm like once that 5 became a number 2 draft pick and a Heisman Trophy winner. Hey, we got to look at 5 different now.
Possibly, I can see that. I can see that. But LSU is LSU, man. I don't know. Hey, they're probably like, look, we LSU. They're like game time. They're like, we are.
We got to look at things different. When we start handing out things to everybody, you know, like my man from kid from Indianapolis was top 7 all-time scorer, top 10 all-time scorer in the state. Went to Purdue. And won at 13. Dude, that's you see that rafter there? That's Glenn Robinson. You're not gonna wear 13 in no form, shape, or fashion. You know, some people, you go to Colorado, you can't wear 2 no more.
Well, they officially retired that, right? They officially retired. They did a ceremony. And remember how people was upset about that? Well, who does he think he is retiring his son's number?
You're making my point.
Yeah.
You got number 2 over at this school retired, and he ain't did diddly poop.
I agree with Corey.
Yeah, you got to make it sacred. So I think LSU, they're sacred number 7. Ain't nothing else sacred in LSU. And I'm not saying from my perspective. I'm talking about from LSU perspective. They're saying 7 is only one thing that's sacred. Oh, I'm sorry. I lied. 7 and 40. I apologize. My LSU fans, it just hit me. 7 and 40 are sacred in LSU.
Was there anywhere else we wanted to hit NFL-wise or college football?
So before we go back, let's talk. People always talk about Joe Burrows and number 9 at LSU. And
he pulled up the stats.
I'm a Joe Burrow guy. You know, I like Joe Burrow, right? I like him. Really, I like him.
Or not welcome to the club, but glad you're in the club.
Numbers. LSU should have Joe Burrows number 9 off limits.
Nah, I don't think so. I just think it's LSU. 7 and 40 is it.
They should have it off limits. It should take a lot to get both of them.
Yeah. I mean, there's an argument for it. I think there's an argument. Like, I mean, at IU, what? Should 16 be put as one of those numbers now? I don't know. I said like for IU.
I would say no. I would say no personally. But if they did, I wouldn't I wouldn't have an aneurysm or nothing.
I just said for Ramon. I said like for IU, like, do you think 16 could be a possibility now?
I think nothing at IU should be retired. No, I'm joking. I think when you got a guy who was a Heisman Trophy winner and B, a top 3 draft pick, you have to consider putting shelving his number and saying that you can't just come in and rock this number. This is a number you got to graduate to.
Yeah, that's true.
You can't be right off the street on this number.
Yeah.
The only number for Indiana that football wise that should have been retired was Anthony Thompson. It was, second in the Heisman that year, all-time great at Indiana. His number is not retired. I think maybe it is. Now that I think about it, maybe Anthony Thompson's number is retired. Now that I think about it, it's possible. If it's not, it wouldn't surprise me.
I'm not saying retired. I'm not saying retired. I'm saying that you can't give out these numbers free willy, man. This is a Heisman guy. We talk about this. We talk about this NIL, this name recognition.
Yeah.
These people have made this number in this university famous, and then we're gonna say, okay, well then, hell, give your number out. So I think I've always said that people want to see the name on the chest and not necessarily the person. So if you put anybody in that 7, that 9, that whatever, then that kind of gives credit to my theory that that we're coming to see the program and not the individual. But if that individual made that number a household number, man, you can't get anybody 2 at Florida State. That's Deion.
Yeah.
Right, but what's changing a little bit of that landscape is that NIL deal and that money.
Yeah, exactly.
And then these players saying, if I don't get it, I got another offer over here. So y'all think about it, y'all let me know. I think that's something that comes.
And that's why I love my Buckeyes, because they look, we want you, and we're gonna give you this, and this, but we're not putting that block 0 ain't on the table.
We're not putting that stock on you,
that ain't on the table.
You know what? If you've got that type of cachet, you absolutely you matter of fact, you bow your chest up and go on, bro, we got you. Appreciate that. That's a good thing to have. It's not a bad thing to have.
And there's some programs that can do that, and obviously Ohio State's one. There's some that they don't have that type of legacy, so they will give out numbers willy-nilly like that. Where else did you guys want to go to? We talked NFL. We hit college football just now. Well, basically a little bit of college football, but
hey man, we got to hit our queens. We got to quit. We got to hit our WNBA queens. We got to hit the Indiana Fever. The Indiana Fever punched that. Damn him! I don't care. Hey, Indiana Fever punched that ticket back to the playoffs again. There's a lot of buzz going on about the MVP race. And I'm not going to put it in any particular order. There are 3 names that people are just throwing out there continually. The same 3.
Should only be one. I said it should only be one.
No. I'm saying it's 3 names that are out there right now.
Yeah, and I think it's one person and then everybody else. It should go to Olivia Miles.
They've got no particular order. So don't be mad at me, y'all. Caitlin Clark, Olivia Miles, and Asia Wilson. Those are the 3 names that people are throwing out there. And also, there's getting a little bit of buzz of my girl Kelsey Mitchell. A little bit of buzz, but not in the top 3.
Yeah.
For me, I've said this, and y'all get tired of me saying it. I don't give a damn. It's our show. I can say as much as I want. Asia Wilson is not Andre Drummond. She is Akeem Olajuwon. She is the MVP. She's not going to shoot a logo 3. She's not going to throw a behind-the-back pass, flip, and all of that. She's not going to do that. She's just going to be a consistent, dominant player. And on top of that, she does not promote. She does not self-promote, brother. That's why I like her as well, too. She don't self-promote. She just goes out there and hoops, man. So that's my take. What do y'all think?
I don't disagree, but I think Olivia Miles is going to get it. And I think she deserves it.
I didn't say going to get. I said, what do we think, right?
I know.
Because we don't have control of that. We don't have a vote yet. So, the next year or 2, the Game Time Network may have a vote. We ain't there yet.
I think Olivia Miles, for me, is the MVP right now. I think the Aces, there's some room to talk about it, right? They're 5-5 in their last 10 games. You look at the other teams surrounding them in the standings. The Valkyries are 6-4. The Dream are 7-3. Fever are 6-4. They've had some close games over the last weekend. I think they lost to Dallas and then lost to the Liberty last night. But I think it goes to Olivia Miles. What she is doing and the highlights she is creating and just the way she is played is just spectacular. Like, I think if the league did a better job at promoting, I think she is must-see television. I think Asia Wilson and Caitlin Clark are must-see television. I'm throwing Olivia Miles in there too.
Olivia's already in there though. She's already in there.
I'm just saying, those 3 women right now are must-see TV when it comes to basketball. I think obviously the Fever, it's a team thing, obviously, and Caitlin has become a big draw. But I think those 3 women are must-see TV. And I think Olivia Miles is putting herself in that category of just like a superstar.
She's there.
And we don't like to throw. I think Decott's done a good job of making me say, not to say great as often as I did when we first started, right?
Everybody was great. Let you tell it.
I've used the verbiage good or very good. I'm using superstar for
Yeah.
Olivia Miles at this point, because those three right now are must-see TV. And I think honestly, when we get to playoff time, I think right now I would say Paige Beckers is very good, maybe even great. Hopefully in playoff time, I think if it shapes up to where it's the Wings and the Minnesota Lynx in the playoffs, woo boy, I'm gonna be sitting up on my couch with some popcorn. I'm gonna be ready to go. I'm ready to go.
Yeah, man. Ramon's got a thought on that. Hey, Ramon's got a thought on that. I think he does.
So my thing is this: who should win the WNBA MVP? I'm going with Aja Wilson, and I don't think it's really that close, right?
Yeah.
But if I'm the WNBA commissioner, I'm going to my marketing team, and I'm saying, hey, we're going to figure this out, and Caitlin Clark is going to win the WNBA MVP, and I'm going to start a
World War III. That's what you're going to start.
I'm about to start World War III, and I'm about to put Caitlin Clark versus Olivia Miles, and they will be the next Magic Johnson, Larry Bird fight for the next 5 years. Yep. And I'm going to blow the WNBA sky high. I'm going to market it. They're going to do the Converse weapons commercial. They're going to do all type of stuff. They're going to remake that.
Hey, you're dating yourself. Stop
it. Because I've watched, I know.
I know. You watched the documentary. I know.
Yeah. So let's not even do that. I get it. I know exactly what he was referring to.
We're going to French Lick, Indiana, and remake stuff. We may even get a photo shoot with Olivia Miles and Caitlin Clark and Larry Bird and Magic Johnson at the table sitting there.
That'd be beautiful. That would be absolutely beautiful.
We're going to blow this up. And I would call Aja Wilson and say, hey, look, we know you're the best in the NBA,
it's business.
WNBA. But if we want to make money, this is the route we about to go.
Can you imagine? You just said it, right? So imagine if we didn't have all the race baiting and the politics in the WNBA right now. Imagine a commercial like this. Those three we just said, Aja, Caitlin, and Goggles. And then they walked up to Isaiah, Larry, and Magic. And they had a 3-on-3 game, right? And say, here's your past and here's your present. Something along those. Can you imagine the buzz that would get from viewers? I mean, to your point, you got to market it. But we've seen the WNBA piss the bed week after week, month after month on every damn thing they touch.
Yep.
Everything they touch.
They need a new commissioner. I mean, they need a new commissioner.
They need a whole new staff, as my uncle used to say back then. They need a whole new the front office of all the WNBA needs to just take them all, put them in a bag, and throw them out. Because they are on to something, and they're going to miss it because they're putting themselves in position of all the divisive behavior as opposed to the play on that 94/50.
Yes.
That's why on this show, we talk about the 94/50. Think about that commercial. Isaiah, Magic, and Larry are walking up, and they see these three ladies. They say, let's go 3-on-3. Can you imagine the pub that we get? Because Larry still gets buzz, Magic gets buzz, Isaiah gets buzz. That's the old, or maybe replace one with Jordan, right? Whatever, right? And then you've got the ladies.
Yeah.
That would be gold, man.
Yeah.
I would love to see that, man.
Ramon, you got something that you want to say?
No, I mean, I said what I said, man. I know who the best player is, and she is the best player. But if you want this money to keep coming in, them two up that second and third best player who are pretty good. Hey, there's a lot behind. Because like Olivia Miles, everybody like her, man.
Man,
she looked like the person that come off the street that you would be like, if we was picking a pickup game, I wouldn't pick her. I'm not picking her up. And then she comes out and bust your ass.
That's what I said. That's exactly why.
And the best part,
she doesn't look threatening.
And the best
part, not threatening at all. Like she should be at somebody's office with a computer fighting carpal tunnel syndrome, and then all of a sudden, boom, she dropped 30 on you.
And the best part about all this is next year we're gonna have Juju Watkins in the league. Hopefully, she's a LA Spark, right? I think Juju's going to come in, and I'm not saying as good as Olivia Miles, but I think she's going to come in. I think she's going to be really, really good. Now it's going to depend on her team. I think her team's going to be
also
really
how she recovers.
I'm excited to watch her this year at USC, and hopefully she has a healthy season and is successful. I think whatever team she goes to, she's going to elevate them. Not saying to make the playoffs or nothing, but I'm really excited to see Juju enter the league as well, because I think she'll bring her own fan base too. Like, Caitlin brought in the biggest fan base. Yes, I get that. But Paige Beckers has.
Well, they were Caitlin fans. They weren't basketball.
They're not. Yeah, I agree. Paige brought her on. She has a good audience, right? Angel Reese has a good audience. Like a lot of these players that are coming from college to the league are bringing their own audience, and I think Olivia Miles has created her own audience as well
organically.
Over the course of this. Organically,
remember,
yes.
She wasn't the number one pick, and I didn't hear anybody mad.
Well, no, they were going back and forth.
I'm saying she wasn't though. Regardless of that, she wasn't.
I get what you're saying.
What I'm saying is she didn't bring the boom that Caitlin did, right? That Angel did, even with that. She said, you know what? I'm not going to worry about that. Watch me work. And that's what she did. And guess what? I got a great opportunity September 22nd to see her in person. I think Section 1, row 12. I can see. I know. By the way, I'm gonna get my goggles. I'm wearing my goggles at night. Because it's all about that night, man. I'm just hoping that since the playoffs is the last game of the season, it's not one of those games where players are sitting. And again, they better not do this NBA crap. They better not do this. Oh, we're gonna sit our players and rest. Play. You know what those seats are going right now? Those individual seats where I'm sitting, because I'm glad. Knock on wood. I'm so glad I got them a couple of months ago. $340 a ticket. $340. And that's not on the floor.
Yeah.
$340. So I'm just telling you, man, I hope that game lives up to everything that we think it's going to be. I absolutely think that Olivia, they won't be playing against each other because
man, I ain't paying that much for a ticket unless I'm going to watch the Buckeyes.
Oh wait,
the Wu-Tang Clan.
I might, Corey.
Hey,
I'm telling you, it's gonna be beautiful, man. I can't wait. I cannot wait.
For my TikTok audience, for our YouTube audience, and especially our Caitlin Clark audience, I got something for you guys today. I got something great. I just want to talk about Angel Reese for a second, because everybody loved to get on her when they played the Fever and she had the missed layup at overtime and everything else. And look, 31 points last against the Mercury. Now, what I was gonna say, I was gonna start this off by saying she's getting better from the 3-point line, and if she can just be consistent enough to where teams have to at least be worried about her hitting 1 or 2 threes a game. Now, this deflates my argument because she was 0 for 4, but 31 points, 14 rebounds, 4 steals. D-Cott, we talked about the turnover. She had 2 turnovers in that game against the Mercury. Against the Sparks, 20 points. She was 9 for 9 from field goal range, 2 of 2 from 3, 10 rebounds, 8 assists, but the caveat, 5 turnovers. She's getting better.
I could deal with 5 turnovers with that number. Yeah, I could deal with 5 turnovers with that number.
She's getting better, and I think she's going to be an integral part of Atlanta being successful. I mean, they're 4th in the standings right now. That means they would play the Fever in a 7-game series.
I don't think they can beat the Fever. I think it's a matchup problem for them. That they're a good team. They're getting better. And I've said it again on this show. Man, Angel Reese has done nothing but improve. I just wish that she wouldn't so much self-promote. You don't have to do that. Let your play speak for itself. Mirror Angel. You got a great example on what. And again, we talk about the example. You got a great example in Las Vegas.
Yeah.
You got a great example there.
I think
what's the most even with her. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say I think the most interesting part about that run is she had a quote saying, that game against the Fever where she missed a layup, it bothered her a lot. And to go out and to have that type
it should bother her ass a lot.
And that's what I'm saying. But that's my point. I mean, that's what I'm saying. To be mad about that game and to come out and to put up 21 against the Aces, 20 against the Sparks, and 31 against the Mercury, I think that shows she's working on her game and she wants to will this Atlanta team hopefully past the Fever. I mean, I know the league's probably licking its chops thinking the Fever and the Dream may be playing in the first round, but we're still a while away from knowing.
But the thing is, these 3 games don't prove she's working on her game. Beginning of the season proved it.
No,
you see her getting better. I just wish she wouldn't listen. I wish she would try to get that 3 bag out of her bag. Hey, she's long, she's active, and use that skill, right? And that's what I would think.
Yeah, I just think the point is if they're gonna, because come playoff time, right? She's probably gonna get left open from there, and if she has some type of ability to hit that, it'd be good if she can knock down 1 or 2 a game, right? Because she's not gonna take that many threes. Like looking at it here, the most she's taken is about 4 or 5 threes, and it's very sparingly. Like on average, it's probably like 1 or 2 threes a game, maybe more than likely 2.
No, great point. But her strength and her money is made in the paint,
and
right?
rebounding the ball.
And sometimes you just, like Shaq said, you gotta know who you are. Just know who you are. Get in the paint.
That was the worst damn Shaq impersonation.
But he's there on NBA team like.
You gotta know who you are. Simple as that. Do what you do.
Just do what you do. Get in the paint.
That was actually pretty. That was pretty good.
No, that wasn't bad at all. But I'm just.
That's what's up, man. Hey, listen. I know people, clown about the WNBA, and we picked up our pace, right? Hell, I mean, I'm finding myself looking for in WNBA games now. And I'm excited about this game. I'm talking about my little mama. She's not gonna be able to go because Papa got in too late because I ain't doing that. She had luck, but again, we're watching these games with excitement now.
Yeah.
And the Liberty, they beat the Fever the other night because remember the Fever got them a week and a half ago.
Man, look at these 3 teams on the bottom: the Liberty, the Mystics, and the Wings. They're gonna be tough to beat. They're gonna be pests. Right, and I think Corey makes a great point. Dream and the Mystics are going to be tough to beat. I mean, and especially the Liberty. Like the Liberty are
balanced, man. It's balanced.
They're former champions of the league. Sabrina Ionescu's been a little off this season, but Breanna Stewart, they've got the roster to where if they went out and they were in the WNBA finals, I'm not going to be surprised at all. If they turn it up come playoff time, I'm not going to be shocked because they are
Minnesota. Does Minnesota blow their wad in the regular season? Scroll up a little bit. Minnesota's been on a heater, man. They've been on a real heater. And you're talking about 31-7. They're distancing themselves, right? My concern is they're a younger team. And when you look at these, say, well, wait a minute, did they blow their wad during the regular season? I just don't think so, man. I think and I don't remember the young lady's name. She got a short hair. She got a blonde hair, black girl. I think she's number 6. For the Lynx. She's good. And she's like their small forward, very aggressive, plays within the framework, and her and Goggles seem to play really, really well together. I like that combination as well too. I don't like it better than Caitlin Clark and my girl Caitlin Clark's running mate.
Kelsey Mitchell.
Yeah, Kelsey Mitchell. Wow, I get Kelsey. Yeah, but again, I think Minnesota Lynx. I think they've got it, man. And we can be mad. Their coach is woke too, brother. Hey, y'all can be mad. Y'all, their coach she is way woke, man. She wears these shirts every game and all of this. Hey, I think they've got some secret sauce up there in Minnesota, man.
I would say right now, if I'm ranking it, I got Minnesota at 1. Fever have been, they've played some really tight games. I'm really worried about their defense. I'm really worried about their defense going into the playoffs. I mean, you look at Golden State. I've gotten to watch them a little more. They're really solid defense. The teams in the top 4 are very good on the defensive side of the ball, and Indiana's just not good on the defensive side of the ball. Like, well, I'm not even like it's not even for me to say they're kind of good or they're okay. They're not good they're not good on the defensive side of the ball.
They stay in foul trouble too much, man. Livia Boston's just so damn handsy. That's what hurt them against when they played Vegas. She was in foul trouble the game. But the problem is her backup isn't formidable like she is, right? And that makes it difficult, man. Again, like if you look at these teams here, I say that the Fever can beat the Dream, and I think they can be really close with the Liberty. Those other teams, I don't think they can beat Minnesota, Golden State, or Las Vegas in any way, shape, or form.
I think even the Dream's going to be hard just because they're tall.
I didn't say hard. I just think they've got a matchup. I think they got a match.
Man, if you guys go back to an old, what'd you say?
I know what you're going to say. Yeah, you've been saying they're not.
Back to an old podcast that we did. I told you guys I didn't believe in the Fever because I thought players on that team were too one-dimensional.
Yep. Yeah.
And we run into it now. Man, I can do this real good, but I can't play D. I can do this real good, but I can't grab rebounds.
But you know what's crazy about that though? Their best defensive player is Kelsey Mitchell. on ball. She's the best. But the problem is though. Listen, I've seen her play it. Yeah. But what I'm saying, but they're handsy, right? They're real, and I'm not talking handsy like Oklahoma City when they were grabbing the Pacers players and knocking them down. Handsy. I'm talking handsy. It's just like I don't know what the name I want to. They're just handsy. They just put themselves in bad positions on the court so much, so often, man. And it's like they're waiting for the dynamic play, right?
I think one player that could really help them, and they drafted her, I think it was the 10th pick. I think Raven Johnson would help them a lot. She's not the most skilled offensively, but she was a really great defensive player at South Carolina. And I think, and I get it. They don't. There's maybe just not room in the rotation for it, but I think come playoff time,
you got to stop somebody. You got to stop somebody.
And I think she could really help on the defensive side of the ball. And she's a good ball handler too.
Guess who would have to sit?
Sit Sophie Cunningham. I really don't care.
No, I'm not saying me and you have a problem with it. I'm just saying she's become the darling, and that's why Raven's not playing. Well, that's why Raven's not playing as much. There's a lot of argument about that matchup right there.
And I'm not taking away from Sophie Cunningham. Right? They've got two guards. I mean, I think Sophie Cunningham and Corey just mentioned her, Lexi Hull, are both good guards. Right? I think they're serviceable and they do what they need to do. I think Raven Johnson could go out there and be a better defender than both of them. But on the offensive side of the ball,
absolutely would be. She absolutely would be.
On the offensive side of the ball, that's where you lose it, right? Because Raven's not the best offensive player, but she can handle the ball just as good as Hull and Cunningham.
But you know what, though? The other thing is, too, and just call it what you want. You can slice it. Hey, man, Sophie Cunningham's going to fight, though. And so she ain't backing down off nobody. She wants all the smoke, and I think that invigorates the team a little bit as well. I'm not saying she should play more than Ray. I'm not saying all that. I'm just saying she's got no problem looking to get into a fight.
Yeah,
and I think as the season has gone on and it get tougher, that playoff game, they're not going to be in these 95 and 100-point games in the playoff. It's going to slow down. And it wouldn't surprise me in my view that that maybe Raven does play more in the playoffs to help out because they're not going to be scoring as much.
But I don't think you just hope their rotation is deep enough, right? Because just like when we talk about the NBA, how deep is your rotation? And I think Raven Johnson is one of those players that can make an impact for them. And I think Raven and Caitlin Clark do have some history there. Back in the NCAA tournament, she did a good job guarding Caitlin Clark. I think it was her junior year or sophomore year in the tournament. So there's a little history there with those two. But you squash that over. I don't think it doesn't matter anymore.
It's not. It's not there now. But to your point, though. There's a lot. Listen. If you're not intrigued by what's going on in the WNBA, you're high.
Yeah.
You're high, and and I'm not talking about the dirty plays or the race. But I'm talking about 94 by 50. If you're not intrigued, you got something wrong.
And as someone that's not really interested in NFL Summer League and really loves basketball, first of all, it ain't no damn NFL Summer League. So see, you love the Thunder little jazz out there. You said little jazz. I was trying to escape mine as quick as possible. But with NFL Summer League going on, it's been really nice. I love basketball. To get my basketball fix with the WNBA, it's just been great. It's been really great to watch. I can't lie.
It has. Real talk.
It has. But NFL Summer League's been good too. Joe Milton. Back to the Dallas thing. Joe Milton's looked really good. So shout out to Joe Milton because last preseason, I was like, "Ish."
Hey, I think all that guy has through a brick wall, man.
But his accuracy has gotten way better. Like watching the preseason game, obviously it was against Arizona, but he's looked good in both preseason games so far. I've been impressed with Milton. Maybe we flip him to Indianapolis at the trade deadline if Daniel Jones goes down. And I'm being so for real. I'm not trying to this isn't an insult on the Colts. I'm very serious.
Hey, the coach quick to give you a couple first rounders.
There you go. 20. I wouldn't mind a 2020, 2028, 2029 first. Hey, Daryl or D-Cot, don't forget about those Mystics either. Sonia Citron and the Mystics. They're gonna give people some trouble too.
They'll be here the game before the Lynx are here. I think I maybe to make that one as well. So yeah, I'm fired up, man. I'm gonna get my like Corey said, I'm gonna have my wig. I'm having my goggles on, and nobody's gonna mess with me, man, because it's all in. I'm cheering for the Fever. I want them to win, man. I want to see goggles in person.
Ramon, is there any teams you've gotten to watch that you like this season that you're like, man, I really
none.
Fair enough. Okay. Not at all.
Is what it is, brother. You know.
Yeah, that's fair.
No,
I get it though. You're busy. I just was curious.
I'm just joking, man. Unfortunately, I try to watch like a bunch of WNBA highlights and stuff like that because it comes at a time where we ramping stuff up in high school football.
Yeah.
So it's kind of hard for us. But I do check out the highlights. I do check out the commentary. I do read. I try to stay away from reading, looking at some podcasts. I try to do a lot of reading with different type of media outlets that I think have a little bit more truth to them. Mm-hmm. So I love the game. I'm just mad that it comes in the summer.
Yeah, that's fair.
You know?
Yeah, man, I'm excited though. I think the playoffs are gonna be really, really fun, and I'm excited to watch some basketball. We'll have some college football, have NFL football. It's all ramping up, so I'm really excited for it for sure. Anywhere else we want to hit, fellas? I feel like we hit everything we wanted to hit. College football tonight, Cross Time College Football Show tonight. Make sure you guys check that out. And it's probably D-Cut's favorite thumbnail of the whole year. Alabama is the thumbnail.
I'm a bum.
I didn't even see
it. One day.
It's Keewan. It's
Keelan Russell. Man, listen, this is the best time of the year, man. I'm so ready for college. I was talking to Darren yesterday. I'm at Pendleton Heights High School watching damn JV game. Darren calls me. We're in the phone for 30 minutes talking only college football. My wife's like, hey, we're watching the game. My nephew, we're watching the game. I don't care. I got the tornado on the phone, and we're talking college football. So this is it. We just talk college football, man, and this is the time of year, man. I'm ready to be.
I like all the people getting mad because Indiana's ranked number 6 in the AP poll.
Why?
Why they getting mad or why?
Why they getting? I mean, it doesn't matter where you start. It matters where you. So hey, real quick, I said, pull up last season's preseason rankings for college football. Don't say a word. We just pull it out. We'll spitball a little bit.
I know.
I want everybody to see it though, because I know it too. But I want people to see it. And this is what we fans get in our feelings, right? Well, we're not getting the respect we deserve. You know what? You didn't get any for the prior 75 years either, but you took it last year. No one gave you anything last year. You went to Oregon. Remember, Oregon. This is it. Look at me, Oregon. Look at me, Indiana. You're gonna lose. Brother. You're gonna lose. Yeah. You're not gonna win the game. You're gonna lose. So no one gave anybody in Indiana anything last year.
Infamous clip, by the way.
So why worry about what they're giving you? And you go to their house, you kick the door in, and you take what you want.
Yeah.
So and that's what bothered me. Did you get to pull up yet?
Yep, right here. Is that this year?
No,
no, that's it. That is this year. My bad.
That was last year.
I'm trying to find it. My bad. Hold on.
Yeah, put in 2025. That could help you a little bit to 2026. Just a small thing.
Yeah. Well, I put last year, and apparently they just said, here's this year.
But the point being is, Indiana was, I think, I want to say in some poll, I think they were like 19th or 18th or 19th. Then like one poll like 16th. You got all these polls out. They were double-digit ranked, right? And they're worried about this. Just go out there and play ball, man. You got it yet? Well, terrible TV. Put it this way: IU, you're ranked higher than last year.
Yeah. Be
better, do better. Stop crying.
Yeah, it'll be all right. Now, D-Con, I want to know why you betrayed me and said Notre Dame's gonna win the Natty this year. Why'd you betray me like that, man?
No. Listen. Listen.
What?
No, this is no troll. Listen, no troll, no other thing either. Fact.
I got the boost sound effect ready. Go ahead.
Notre Dame has the best offensive line in the country, and a top 3 defensive line in the country, and a top 3 defense overall. Mm-hmm. They got a hell of a coach who I'm telling you, he's got it all. He's got a very good quarterback coming back. I love Freeman to death, but also too, I want him to leave Notre Dame and go to the NFL. He's too good for Notre Dame. And I honestly, I just think with their schedule, 71st ranked in the country, 2 toughest games at BYU, at home against Miami. Yes, they got SMU. Yes, we know they got Navy. Navy will have 11 wins this season, but it's Navy. I just think it sets up for them. I think it sets up for them to be more rested than these other teams that are in these conferences fighting, because they're going to be conference championships this year.
Yeah.
They don't have a conference championship. They got layups. And I think come December, end of December, they're going to be a rested team and a team that won't have the bumps and bruises that other teams have. I just believe it. And you can clip this. This is no troll. This is no jinx. This is 100%. I believe 100% that Notre Dame's going to win it. Now, can't stand their asses.
Yeah. I
hope one of those other teams that we talked about will beat them.
I do too.
But I just think it lines up for them, man. I just think it does. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah. Well, I wholeheartedly disagree. I don't think but here's what I will say, right? What does Stephen A say about the Cowboys, right? What can go wrong will go wrong. So I think they'll lose.
Hey, you gotta stop using Stephen A on this show, man. There's a few banned words we got. His name is one of those.
I think they will lose at some point. I think they'll underperform. They're the Dallas Cowboys of college football. So I don't got to worry about it. I'm all good.
Back me up, Ramon. Come on.
I got you, man. 08.
Oh, yeah. There you go. Notre Dame's going to beat them just like they did in the 90. It was so funny. I remember the night of that game. Xavier was like, Notre Dame's gonna win. Man, I was like, no, I'll put money on it. I'm like, they're not gonna finish the job. And I took money on Ohio State. I won $15 off that game. So thank you to Coach Ryan Day. $15 cash. Thank you, Ryan Day and the Buckeyes for getting that win.
Oh man, I love Freeman, man, but I don't want him staying at Notre Dame, because if he has an off season, they're gonna do to him what they did to Tyrone Willingham. I want him going to the NFL. He is a 20-year NFL veteran when he decides to go, man. That dude is as talented can be. He's got the cachet. I just think I want him to go to the NFL. I want him staying at Notre Dame.
Reggie, I gave the Colts some love, so you gotta let me have my Notre Dame hate for the day. So I'm just gonna put that out there. I mean, I'm repping the Colts jersey today. I got the Reggie Wayne jersey on, man. I'm feeling. I'm repping the horseshoe today. I'm feeling it you know what? Go Colts. I'll even give you guys a go Colts today. I'm feeling generous, man. I'm feeling real good about the Colts.
Stop making excuses, Reggie. Go play in traffic or something. We don't make no damn excuses around here. Stop making an excuse for your team. Take that licking like a man. Hey, we covered a lot of stuff today.
Yeah. I think we're both. I don't know if that was a joke.
Did we lose? It wasn't me.
It wasn't me. I didn't do it.
Maybe he got tired about talking about Notre Dame.
or the Colts, one of the two.
Or the Colts. He's back now.
No, he left again.
He's having some internet issues. Maybe his wireless is only two hours, right? Because we've been on a 2-hour show. Maybe he needs to call our guys that Wire to the Nines.
There you go.
And get some things happening for him.
There you go. Yeah, thank you to Wire to the Nines for sponsoring the Game Time Network. Ramon, did you leave on
What are you doing?
Man, I just bumped my mouse, man. I just disappeared.
I thought he heard Colts. He said, all right, I'm done. I can't take this anymore.
Hey, man.
No, man. Good stuff, man.
I just had my hand on it and I moved it, and I'm like, I jumped out of here. Let me get back in.
No, well, good, man. We talked about at the start of the show. We talked about our new sponsor, Isaiah, Blue TV, cutting the cord. We gave a shout out to my guy Al Jeans on that. We got a lot of stuff going on within the Game Time Network. We did our apology, Isaiah. Thanks for apologizing again on that. We're trying to get this schedule right, y'all. We're gonna get it right, but we got stuff going on as well too in our lives, and that are important as well. We're gonna do everything we can to take care of business and keep you all updated with a lot of fun, laughter, and good sports talk as well.
And what I can guarantee is, the show's been bouncing around, and honestly, it may still bounce around these next couple of weeks just with things we got going on. But it's not like there won't be a show on the weekend. You won't see this show not happen over the weekend. It'll happen on Saturday. It'll happen on Sunday. They won't be like a drastic switch where we say, hey, the show's going to next Wednesday at 7 o'clock or something, right? Unless it's like a special additional episode. The Game Time Live, the show you guys all know and love, you know, if it's not on Sunday, it'll be on Saturday, but we are going to try to be as consistent as possible on Saturday at 11 o'clock. I can guarantee us, as of right now, the next 2 Saturdays will be at 11 o'clock, right? I want to say that now because, well, I already got my work schedule. I'm off work, so it don't matter. So we're good for that.
Hey, as my dad say, son, I can't make you no promises, but I'll do my best.
It's all good now. So, yeah, just wanted to be a little transparent, you know, but we can definitely guarantee you guys a weekend show, Game Time Live. And we can also guarantee tonight at 7, Cross Time College Football. That show will be back on our channel tonight, so that'll be fun. And then obviously on Tuesday, Reggie A. Smith and Daryl Bayless will be back in action for Bias with a Little Truth. That'll be fun as always. I'm sure Reggie's gonna talk about my Cowgirls and the Colts, and you know I'm wrong about everything, but I need Reggie to like back up the Colts a little bit. He just tells us we're wrong and we're haters, but there's no factual evidence as to why he thinks the Colts are going to be good.
That show's not a fact-based show.
Well, that's
a feeling show.
I'm asking Reggie this Tuesday to put together an analytical report, get a suit and tie on, and tell me why the Colts are going to be 13-4. I want him to break down every game week by week and do that. That's what I want from Reggie this week. And I will. And if he doesn't, I'll make it I want a 17-week analytical breakdown of why the Colts are going to be 13-4 from Reggie. I want
I just want Reggie to stop with all the corny jokes, man. The stankies and else. Hey, look, man, you've been doing that since I met you, man. Back in like 1990, bro. Stop it, man. New joke, man, please.
There you go, Reggie. Link up with Jason. Get prepped for Tuesday. Yeah. I want to hear.
Put it in the AI. Put it in the AI. It'll spit it out for you, man. You'll be good to go.
I want to hear real analytics on why the Colts are going to be 13-4. I want you to tell me why the offense is going to be okay, not just Alec Pierce is good and Daniel. I got to hear.
That ain't fair. I said that ain't fair.
No.
That's a fan show. That's a bias with a little truth show, man.
Now I need to hear facts with a little bit of bias. That's what I need to hear on Tuesday. I need facts with bias.
Hey, Tuesday. Reggie, this is Isaiah saying that. So don't you come to me to, see what you got Isaiah saying this about me. No, Isaiah is a grown man who thinks for himself. So handle that business.
I'm going to hear from Jason when I go downstairs in about 10 minutes. Jason's going to tell me why. But hey, I got the Reggie Wayne jersey on. I talked very positively about the Colts. My only one question is the offense. I'm a little worried about the offense. I have a lot of belief in JT. I'm drafting him in fantasy in the 2nd or 3rd round, guaranteed. Like I've got a lot of.
He won't be available in the 3rd round, man.
Man, I did a.
You got like a 16 league or something.
I did like a mock draft and like he did not get picked. So I don't know, man.
You must be one of them 8-teamers.
I must have got lucky. I don't know. So it's gonna be interesting. It's gonna be a fun NFL season. Make sure to go check out the website. Make sure to check out our TikTok, Facebook. We're gonna be being a little more consistent over there as well. Big thank you to our sponsors, and then of course, folks, like we've been saying, keep rocking with us. If there's any changes to the show, the day or the time, we will obviously be providing you with those updates. Ramon, anything you got to say? 1-0 heading into next Friday night. How you feeling?
Hey, nothing. Only thing better than 1-0 is 2-0.
There you go. I love it. Daryl, anything you want to say?
Just last thing, we're talking about Blue TV, right? A lot of Pacer fans were upset about the new streaming service that they've got to use. And they got to pay for that streaming service. Those of y'all that are not season ticket holders, you got to pay the full price. But you got an option. You got Blue TV. Cut the cord. See my guy Al Jeans will tap into that. As a matter of fact, Blue TV is your spot to go. If you want to deal with that crap, paying $200 a month, having 5 or 6 streaming services, one-stop shopping. See Blue TV. More news to come on that. Come see us at Game Time.
And I want to say next episode of Game Time Live, there will be a show intro. Get in early. I've been working on this show intro for 3 weeks. I've been making cuts. I've been making edits.
Longer than that.
So I'm letting you know right now, please get into the show early next week. I've got a show intro finally created for us. So please get in there and check out the show intro. I'm working on it all through this week. So make sure to get in and check it out. I'm going to get back to posting segments from our live shows as well. I'm really excited about the future of the Game Time Network. So road to 600 subs. We're at 522 right now. So thank you guys for all the love and support. I believe that is going to do it. I didn't get to do it in the intro, so I'll say it out. I'll see it here in the outro. Thank you guys for watching the flagship show of the Game Time Network, Game Time Live. We will see you guys on Saturday.